happy Labor Day to everyone, and I hope you are not laboring. I am recording this show, of course, on Thursday, so even though it appears like I'm working today on Monday, I'm not. Boy, what can I say? I hope everyone has an enjoyable and has had an enjoyable weekend. We are already looking at traffic because, you know, people will take Friday attached to the weekend, so they have a nice long 4-day weekend, and so they usually start getting out of town on Thursday. Living in north of Atlanta, a lot of their destinations take them north. So we just like to get tucked away back in our little corner of the woods, which our back property line is Dawson County. So we have a lot of history, mining history. I cannot wait till it's cooler. This is probably going to be one of the best years that I have felt since having gotten COVID 4 years ago, for those of you who have followed me, and 10,500 subscribers. You know, I hope all of you tune in as often as you can, because no need to purchase. We do encourage comments even for your education if you ever wondered about anything, especially about historical mining, especially even though I have experienced it west of the Mississippi in Colorado, having been in many, many mines when I lived out there. The eastern United States I have a lot of experience with, having made when I was newly single after getting divorced from my son's mom. Well, my best therapy I found to be to only work 8 months the first year, and he was very young, so it was no problem at that part of it. And I traveled the world. I traveled the world to mines out in Lightning Ridge, to Kanchanaburi, Thailand, and to 6 of 7 continents altogether. So travel is really the best therapy and medicine, as we found out how good it helped Miss Penny in her recovery, getting a trip to Nova Scotia and that part of her world, which I've always wanted to go to. And so not only taking that time off to travel the world mining, but I also was had the opportunity to make myself real familiar, much more so, with the history of Georgia mining, but took three, mind you, the last week of October. If you go to Bar Harbor, Maine, the last week of October, you can be assured everything, for the most part, is shut down. I mean, we think of here in Georgia, we don't even, hit peak leaf season until end of October. By end of October, when you are in Bar Harbor, Maine, which is Acadia National Park, and if you've never been to that particular national park, I highly recommend it. It was a park of the wealthy in the 1920s and 30s, and now it's the park for the everyday common man. I was able to hike Cadillac Mountain. I was able to pick wild blueberries on the side of the hill. When I saw all these people, look like little ants, I was wondering, what are they doing? And a local had told me that it was blueberry picking season. And it's those little tiny blueberries, the really good ones that have all that true blueberry flavor. So also, all the lobster was much less expensive. And the geological sites, yep. Mount Appetite, Mount Micah, there's a lot of geology going on in Maine and a lot of natural beauty. So I went northward of Moosehead Lake and really explored it, and all by myself. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Those three different years I did it. Three different years. I found it that enjoyable to because of course I drove, and Mr. Pull off on the side of the road, Shawn, any road cut that I saw that was interesting, that was me, and so maybe it took a little longer to get there than it might have supposed to. Okay, I need to get going here because there is a huge show I have planned for you. So I would love to go on and tell you all kinds of other yarns, but we have the real deal. This week, true story, I thought, okay, well, I need to find some additional inventory to show. And I have a room down the hallway that is kind of a catch-all room, and then a guest bedroom that kind of has become a catch-all room because we don't really have any guests. We call it my son's bedroom, but yeah, no, he hadn't been around a while. But even though I've seen it. So I was intended to go down the hallway and make a right-hand turn, because that is where I have found lots of goodies before, tucked away in bags and boxes that happen to have gotten just placed there. Remember, we have a lot of inventory that I can just go down the shelves, but also that's where Eagle Eye Raven, remember, she's the Raven, she can see, and she notices the least little object missing. So I have to watch for that. And she watches for any dust that's left around, an impression where the dust settled around it, and now there's an empty void. But I didn't make a right turn. I just all of a sudden had the gumption to make a left-hand turn into the guest bedroom, into the closet, went to the very first box on the top shelf in the closet. And, we've lived there a long time. And all I did was just kind of heft it up a little bit, and it had weight. And when you're in the rock and mineral business, that's a sure sign that it's not clothes or something else frivolous. No, got the box down, and the first item I opened up, it was like I'd hit the mother lode. And the second item, and then I found a bag. And so you're going to get to see the result from that. So I kind of dated these items. Some I have not even seen, period. I don't remember them. And remember, I had told you the story, and this was during the period when I had my jewelry store where here, in Chamblee, Georgia, and was well known to all the other jewelry stores and pawn shops that if you had a rock or mineral or even a gemstone collection, especially the tubes that you buy off the shopping channels and whatnot, they would send them to us, to my store, because no one else would buy or pay anything for them. They wouldn't even know what to offer. So I was able to get in on a lot of estates. And so people show up in their cars or in the wagon. They have these things. They went through a lot of effort to pack them. And you knew they didn't want to go back home with the items and haul them back into the house. I mean, this stuff weighs. And, so what am I supposed to do? Unwrap every item and look at it? I would kind of glance in the boxes. It's a true story. This happened so many times. And, they would have no idea of the value. And I could have bought a lot of these estates so much less than what I paid. And it's because, I don't know whether the karmic thing I think about, or whether the fairness, or whether, there's a point where I feel like I'm stealing from someone, and that's where a lot of times that a lot of knowledge can cause you to pay too much for things because you know what they're worth. Better for something, if you don't know what they're worth, then you just lowball it to make sure you cover your lack of knowledge. And so I never once was turned down. I haggled for the price that I offered. I figured it was a fair offer that they could feel comfortable with. Home, there was never a single back and forth I can ever think of. They took every offer I ever said. Sometimes they came out better than others. Other times, I remember one batch I opened up, and it looked like it was going to be promising. All these cool labels of all these places, and they were fossils probably that, you wouldn't have in a third grade science classroom kind of level of fossils. So maybe it didn't do so well. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, I was able to date this bunch that I'm going to be featuring you today from at least 13 years old going to 18 to 20 years old, and is the closest time frame I can get. That's how long it's been since my eyes have even set upon any of these items. A few I remember. A lot of them, to me, I've never seen them before. But they're wrapped up like they would have been wrapped quickly, like by the girls that would work with me or for me at the jewelry store kind of thing. When they come in with these boxes, I just say, okay, just wrap them up so they don't hit each other and box them. And they'd stay that way until, well, obviously with this one box until this past week. Let's get to the comments and then let's get to the goods. Okay, so we had 3 questions for the trivia. And all of you did really, really well on that. So wasn't hard enough apparently. Question 1 was, what other arsenic or arsenic mineral did I mention when I was discussing orpiment? So there was another arsenic ore that I had mentioned while I was discussing orpiment, and that is Realgar. Realgar. Question 2 is, what is the pegmatite and gem producing area in India known as? Well, of course, as they've changed up so many different names, Bombay, of course, is Mumbai now, and those kind of things. So they have this area as well. It was, of course, known for a long, long time as Orissa. It is now called Odisha. Close enough, but, when the British ruled India for a long time, they Britishized so many of the names, and now, of course, and I don't blame them, the countries, of course, with their independence, are going back to their original names prior. Question 3 was, name the family Alexandrite belongs to, and that would be the chrysoberyl family. There we have it. All right, let's go. That's us last week. Here we go. The very first one. Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. Was happy to see you back today. Absolutely had trivia envy. Congrats to Barbara. Part 1-5 Brazilian with a super color change. Alexandrite crystals, yeah. That I had. And I thought, well, and I was going to do something with them, of course. They would actually facet, and they have great color change when under the proper lighting. So that's what that's about. Absolutely had trivia envy. Congrats to Barbara. Those chlorite quartz specimens made me think of 3D stereograms. I was pausing the video and crossing my eyes to find the hidden pictures. Yeah, chlorite and quartz are amazing. The way they cut them and the optics of the quartz gives it 3-dimensional look. It often, to me, looks like coral reefs. Like you almost can see fish swimming around in like a fishbowl. Thoroughly enjoyed it all. See everyone next week. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Hubby had an excellent report on his 3-month scan. Yay. Happy dance. Instead of 3 months, you can wait 6 months for the next. Congratulations to your hubby, Miss Cindy, and that's certainly a reason to be happy and joyful for that, and I'm sure he is as well. He will win the battle. I have no doubt. So give him our best from all of us, and I know that all our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts, who's decided to grace us again since he's been on the road all this time, hopefully with eyes down. Hello all, great show. I've missed my bench. It has been some time since I've held tools and worked with rocks, gems, and metal. It feels good. It's also a good feeling to hear the comments and lessons from you and the Rock family. We've missed you, and you can ask the Rock family. I've asked about you. If you didn't go back and look at all the shows that you missed, but multiple times wondering, what just happened? You just, young guy can't just drop off. I did bring one souvenir from Italy. Oh, okay. So that's why we haven't heard from Mr. Anthony. I thought maybe you were just parading around some of the United States. No, he goes to Italy. Well, you know what? You would not believe the amount of minerals that Italy has. A lot. And you know why? The whole thing is a volcanic region, of course, from one end to the other. And with the volcanic magma, you get every form of deposition for minerals. Plus, you're bringing up all that, all those elements and all those ore bodies, metallic elements, and all of them are going to combine with everything from seawater to the other rocks it hits, and produce so many scads of cool things. So Italy, has amazing, from demantoid garnets to incredible epidotes. I did bring one souvenir from Italy. Came across a small shop, and I bought a small slab of rhodochrosite, which I think will be my first project. Well, I have to ask, rhodochrosite, Italian rhodochrosite? Is there such a thing? I'm not familiar with, but I bet there is, only because of the calcite, of course, because there's a lot of limestone in there. Obviously, a lot of buildings built with it way back when. So I wonder about that. But yeah, that would be cool. Trivia. Getting the real gar and ore permit, both arsenic sulfides, and this is a great answer, the Malad Quarry, Mumbai, India. That was, of course, for the question as far as regarding the pegmatite area, producing area that we were talking about. The Malad Quarry, not a pegmatite there, but it is, certainly would be and could be considered like ground zero for zeolites, indeed. And alexandrite in the chrysoberyl family. So great answers there, Mr. Anthony. Only missing one of the three. Miss Barbara in Pennsylvania says, hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Thank you for trying hard to let us all know there wasn't going to be a show last week. Technology limits us to looking on your YouTube page under the community tab at your last posting from 8 months ago. Any new info can be found in the comments of that posting. And that's what we've had to do, is go to the last posting from before and then go to the comment section under that. So we can view updates there for now until GSN sorts out its issues. Then you can post new notices for us. Again, thanks for the extra effort. Celadon, we talked about that color. You know, that's one of those colors like fuchsia. You know, turquoise used to be one of them, except now we all know what turquoise is because the color, it's a mineral, right? So, of course, a lot of people have a wide-ranging idea of what the color turquoise is. Like, Sleeping Beauty turquoise is not turquoise color. No. It's a baby blue. Turquoise, to me, I would think would have to have some green in it, a little bit, right? Celadon is somewhat familiar to the ladies because of pottery and glass. Han Dynasty in China from about 100 AD gave us the distinctive green color in pottery, and then Ohio glassmakers gave us inexpensive, milky Celadon-ware, dinnerware for about 50 years ago. Both were taken up and featured by Martha Stewart in the 1990s and is now a color associated with her and her merch. Genuine Alexandrite as a prize. Zowie. Can't wait to get that under the microscope. And enough pieces to share. Sweet. Yes, ma'am, there is. And glad to hear you say that. I quickly said yes, please, to the chalcopyrite. That honker is going in my front hall. Just got the FedEx call that arrives tomorrow, Thursday. Yippee! So, that big piece from last week. I had one other one. I didn't know I actually had that one. That was another recent discovery. And I had remembered that Miss Barb had mentioned that if I came across one from a long time ago, that she'd be interested. And boy, they are hard to find. They used to be, when I bought a nice selection of them, they used to be plentiful. Not anymore, but you know, when I think about that, that was like 12 years ago. And a lot of things change in the mineral, you know, so you get these deposits, or you find this new trend or vein, and material becomes available in the market, but then it gets absorbed in the market, and then it's all gone. Everyone's got them in a collection, and if they don't sell off their collection, which most real collectors don't, then, you know, there's not too many that travel around available for sale, and the less there is, the more expensive they have become, as I found out with the case of those chalcopyrites. But a great old-timey price I put on that one. So let me know what you think when you get it. The Reconstruction era community of Oscarville disappeared under Lake Lanier in the early 1950s, along with the moonstone deposit. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about. Was there was more than my moonstone deposit that's at the bottom of Lake Lanier. Of course, when they cleaned the big intake, the Lake Lanier is one of the largest core engineer dams east of the Mississippi, 38,000 acres it covers, and it's over 30 miles long from one end, from the dam area to the other end. And scuba divers have reported when they have to clean the debris away from the intakes of, because it's a hydroelectric dam, generates a lot of power. They have reported seeing catfish upwards of longer than they are. And of course, the type of cats we have, big, big, wide mouths. And they just sit there, and all that material that floats down ends up, of course, being able to settle out or being gobbled up by these fish that just sit there near those intake ducts. And let the food come to them. But there's also a town at the bottom of it, which is, there's even a town still not far from where I used to live that was called Oscarville Road. And it ended up dead ending into the lake. And actually the road I lived off of, if you actually followed it, instead of turning the curve, you could actually see the old part of the road, and it ended up, would have gone, and I looked in the old maps, and it traversed the lake prior to it being dammed up and filled in the 1950s as well. So we have those places, and along with burying, submerging that town was also a lot of different other gold mines, along with my moonstone deposit. But if the lake ever gets about 20 feet down again, I know roughly where it is, and I could probably recover some of it. But that was a record drought we had. Don't expect it will be that low for quite some time. But good things and creepy things are at the bottom of the lake, including many a car and more than one skeleton, no doubt. So if the lake could talk, thanks for that little bit of information. As to the trivia, yellow and orange orpiment and realgar go together like the warning powders on poisonous steaks. Yeah, the bad stuff is bound up chemically, but it still would have chance eating finger-licking chicken. The gem-filled Indian pegmatite is Orissa. The alexandrite is a variety of chrysoberyl. I love the cyclical ring twins of chrysoberyl. Yeah, they are really cool. The twins, chrysoberyl really has some amazing ones, the way it does that. And the part about the realgar and orpiment, absolutely, if you touch or mess with any of that stuff, do make sure you clean your fingers. And actually, I didn't get a chance to inventory it this week, but I have an amazing orpiment, another one that I am going to be featuring. So look for that next week. Hope everyone is having a nice Labor Day, and as we see this, enjoy the end of summer and the coming cooler days of fall. Can't wait. Mr. Matt in Texas. We haven't heard from you, Mr. Matt, in a while. Greetings and happy Labor Day. An email from GSN was received today indicating my order has shipped. Of course, it is easy to guess that I would select something fluorescent and something dangerous. Good job. Peru orpiment and pink manganese and calcite. Well done to you there. At least there's nothing R in there, no R minerals. I can't wait till you get your Geiger, your Geiger counter. Professor, do you have any tugtopite to show or sell? It seems hard to find. Yeah, it is hard to find. I have had it before, and I have really enjoyed its luminescent properties. And I remember taking it in the live show underneath the desk and looking at it with fluorescent light, and it just glowing an incredible color. And so it has a really cool changes of color. And so it's kind of in that group. There's tenebrescent, and there's only a couple minerals that are, and I've had them. I will never say no, because next thing I know, I would show up with a tugtopite. Didn't know I had some things I'm going to show you today, so you never know. But I will remember that you're looking for one. Speaking of risky, I passed my trike motorcycle class last weekend. Is there a Harley Tri-Glide Ultra or Can-Am Spider RT in my future? We shall see. Those look pretty neat. And that, so that I wouldn't have to be totally hands-on, and because of my back, no way I could have a two-wheeled scooter, AKA Harley. But those three-wheel ones look much easier to manage on a longer drive for my back and for taking company and having enough room to store those rocks and minerals that I'd have to be coming back with. So that's pretty cool for you, Matt. You go in your retirement age, and that's exciting. Trivia. What other arsenic ore did I mention while discussing ore permit? Real gar. What is the pegmatite producing of India known as? Orissa. Name of the family Alexandrite belongs to? Chris Barrel. God bless you all. Matt in Shiner, Texas. Same back at you, Matt. We love you. And good to hear from you again. And again, keep us updated on your projects there. Miss Penny in Quebec. Hello, Shawn, the lovely Raven, amazing GSN crew and fellow rockhounds. I hope this finds everyone well. One, trivia, getting the real gar right. Orissa, India, and Chris Barrel. So getting all those answers right. Shawn, thank you again for all the education and the beautiful specimens. I love the Ruby Jack and Chloride Quartz specimen. Getting ready to return to work on Tuesday post Labor Day after my longer than necessary sick leave for the hip. Didn't get many of the projects I wanted done, but I'll refocus now and work harder in the evenings. Mahalis is starting school this Friday, and he too isn't looking forward to it. Both of you poor folks going back to work and going to school, real life, just no fun. We will both do what we have to, and that's the way it is for all of us. That's it for this week. Happy Labor Day to all. Wish everyone a wonderful week, and hope to see you next week. Miss Penny from Quebec. Miss Penny, great to hear from you, and I do hope you are fully recovered with that hip. There's nothing like a rock hunting trip to make it all better. Miss Gabby says, greetings and salutations, gang. Another just keeps getting better show. I snagged the anhydro sapphire. Well done. Oh boy, you will have hours of fun, like a barrel of monkeys, except way better. And can't wait to play with it. You got to let me know. Got to let me know when you get it. Thank you for sharing such a unique and special gem. Top 5 is in my top 5 of favorite gems, and it has nothing to do with price or cost. It just has to do with the coolest, rarest, maybe not even rarest isn't that important. Put it this way, the coolest. One of the top 5 coolest gems I've all time that I've had. You know, it's got everything. It's got internal crystals. It's got the anhydro bubble. It has the star. So an optical phenomenon lover's dream. I couldn't help but smile off and on during the show with your cute owl pendant peeking out of your shirt. Don't remember seeing that one. Is it a borrowed piece? And you know I mean from Raven. No, I actually own that one, though I think she gave it, bought it for me. Raven, of course, knows my totem animal, my spiritual animal connection is with owls. And so, yeah, you've seen the bracelet I have with the owl in it, the silver bracelet. So that one, yep. When I get my mojo on, I wear that. Also, when I wear, and good spotting job on that with my, when I have that. And also, of course, remember the other owl I have that Mr. Anthony made me with my birthstone Savarite garnet eyes in it, which, so yeah, very much an owl person. Lots of stories I could tell you. Amazing creature stories, true stories regarding owls. My experiences with them. Miss Gabby goes on to say, Penny, thank you so much for sharing your trip. That area is on my bucket list, and hearing such wonderful things about it from a fellow rockhound just pushed it up the list. Speaking of rubies from Greenland, that reminded me of a trip to Tucson several years back where I saw a large gem peridot from Antarctica. Who would have guessed, and what determination it must take in weather like that to look for much less find anything. Mother Nature and some of her peeps never cease to amaze me. Trivia. Real Orissa and Chris Barrel opting out, as she won a few weeks ago, she says, but no one has to opt out. That's just up to the individual. Yeah, Antarctica, of course, it's best known because for a place to prospect for meteorites, because of the ice, you can spot them easier. They're going to be on top of the ice, right? And I would think that maybe there'd be some Esquali stones there, or in other words, you know, some meteorites that maybe had, maybe that peridot was one of the olivines in one of the pallasites that might have fallen there. Boy, wouldn't that be neat? It's always best to have some of the nickel around it to determine exactly where it would have come from without having to have high-tech equipment. But olivine, definitely associated with volcanism, and I'm sure that there is some history of that there indeed. So let's see. Okay, that is it. We have a lot to get to. So let's get to the winner. And with everybody's number in the hat to draw. And this week, let me just check to be sure. The winner, sure enough, Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Well done, Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Let me show you. You're gonna not have so much trivia envy anymore after you see what you have won. This is an incredible combination of a Crabtree, North Carolina emerald specimen, which it has the classic other minerals associated with the emerald to actually be recognizable as such. There's a little bit of, I think, goop from where somebody had stuck it to something. But look at that. Look at those emeralds. You have the quartz. You have some of the amphiboles, and then look at another crystal there, another emerald crystal there. So that's just some gold paint that you can remove. All right, so that, and then this, which you know how much I love when crystals stand up on their own. Look at that, with those incredible tourmaline, shoral tourmaline crystals. And then look at the clarity. Look at the clarity of the aqua, and look at how symmetrical the hexagon formation is. You have got a sidecar crystal form there. So a beautiful, beautiful specimen, both in the beryl family. Congratulations to you on those. All right, let me put those away, and we'll be back with the start of a really exciting show. Let's just start off with a mind-blowing item, not only for its actual ability to be used, but never has been. It has been, I guess, in this on display for a long time in our home because it is so cool. That takes, remember, when you create any kind of carving, there is a tremendous amount of loss, and that includes spheres. That's why spheres can be so expensive, because you have to cut them into a cube, then cut the corners off, and then finally grind it. There's a lot of weight loss. Well, when you cut this out, look at how large this is, you end up with a lot of loss. Now, I even have in the description that it is, what is the word I used? Functional. Yeah. No, there you go. You have it right there. Functional. Because I say that, it actually is very workable. And you hear that? You are not going to, you can smash anything you want in there. It is, of course, nephrite and jadeite are, by way of their geological formation, are extremely strong and durable. The way it's like, there's not a cleavage that is going to split like you would have in calcite or something like that. And listen to that. You hear how smooth that is? Look at the end of this. If you wanted to grind something in a mortar and pestle really super fine, this can do it. This would do it. It also, being nephrite, it is not going to leave, it's like quartz, it's not going to leave any residue on anything that you eat. It's a hardness, of course, 6.5 to 7, and you can take things as far as nuts, and you can smash it as hard as you want. It can take it. Look at how thick this is. Look at the weight, 1,270. So there's 454 grams to a pound. So you're looking at almost 3 pounds of material here. And look at the quality. Look at the quality. If you are a foodie or just like to cook and like to grind up any of your own items and have a regular mortar and pestle, well, let me tell you, upgrade yourself to this. It will, I promise you, actually work way better. You see, there's no little grooves, no little areas for anything to get stuck in or left behind. It is completely dishwasher safe. It is completely any kind of chemical, ammonia, anything you wanted to clean it with, safe. And wow, look at that. Look at that. and never been used. Even if I had used it, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's not going to scratch itself. It's not going to leave anything behind. But you can see just how well that the curvature of the pestle and the curvature of the mortar, both of them, are perfect for getting just the right amount of contact with each other to either leave a coarse kind of chop to your material or to grind it up really, really fine. Now, let me show you one other thing by way of quality. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to let that spin, just keeping the light on, and we don't even have to turn the other lights off. I'm showing you that even through that much thickness, you are looking at a wonderfully translucent quality. Look at that. So they had to, the carver and, of course, my friends whose mine this material came from had to decide on just exactly what piece of jade to use, quality versus functionality, and loss of course, the material to the inside. And they only made a couple of these that were being offered, and we actually had gotten this one, and there was one other that I might have actually sold in the live show, but I cannot remember. I know that we absconded with this one, and then we never ended up using it, and when we moved, it got tucked away, and then, of course, rediscovered. So here we go. How about this? It would be the only one in your block, only one in your county, only one in your maybe state even, to have one of these, and it is marked at a price that I'm not going to be able to mark it down from. So here we go. Here's the discounted opportunity. I looked at the price that it would have, we would have offered it for the other one in the live show, and it was actually $300 more than what I'm offering this one for. Of course, you know why? Because I am doing sale pricing and fundraising. So let's do this. And also, since I know I can't, we don't, in this show, we can't take offers. I don't like to show things, multiple times. And so for that reason, I give you a amazing deal right up front. And if I ever do show it again, on the items I do mark down, it's only a few bucks. I usually don't have enough room to do much more than that. But on this one, I don't have any other room. $588. That is a stunning, stunning value opportunity. Look at that. That is carved nephrite jade of a very high quality, especially for the purpose that it's being used for. And the polish on it, inside, outside, you name it. And put it this way, picture it in your kitchen. Yes, you can use it, but if nothing else, it is an object of art that goes along great with your kitchen, and yet it's a really fine, fine treasure to have, indeed. Okay, now let me just take a minute so I can put that up safely. I'll be right back. Look at this. This is candy on a string. I used to love the sugar crystals until I learned how to grow them. And after 11 years old, I grew my own sugar crystals. I could only ever afford to buy so many of those at the store. These look like the little candy necklaces, of course, but so much finer and will break your teeth. All right, now, I offered these only one other time. There were 5 together. And I had just did what you're seeing now. I just took the 5 and I just, rolled them together to show you what it can make. These are unstrung. So this is for the person that might want to do their own bead stringing or whatever you may want to do. So all I did, you can actually use the string they are on and just tie it off to a clasp or just use goop like I did. And there's your clasp right there. But it really worked well for showing you what the possibilities are. So you can do one of those multiples. You can do singles. And so for the first time, last time I sold them for all 5 as a group lot price. But this time, I am just offering these individually. So in other words, I just put these together. And if you want to get 5 of them, that's what it looks like if you want to get 5 of them. These are going to be only $18 each.
Yeah.
Only $18 each, and I have a total of 14. You can take as many as you want. So if you want to buy a single strand, here's what they look like as a single strand, and a single strand is $18, and that's what you're seeing the information up there on. They're 16 inches long, there's roughly 15 carats, and there's roughly 2.2 millimeters. They may vary 2.1 to 2.3, but right in that range, as you can see. So you can see that's what one looks like. You can create a bracelet if you wanted to. Look at that. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Because these are so small, it's something that you don't normally see. And then, of course, you can just twist those like you saw in the necklace with 3 of them, with 5 of them, however many that you want. $18 each. So this is what it looks like if you get 5 and want to create that look. And this is what it looks like if you want to get one for $18. Think about what it takes to drill those alone. How did they even create the beads, that many beads, polishing them and then drilling them? You have a break chip factor without a doubt. And the entire necklace that I sell for only $18. And this is some of the highest quality. You can really tell it. I mean, it's like facet grade nephrite here. So $18 each. I have a total of 14 strands. This is what it looks like if you want to get 5 and put them together, roll them together like that. You can get 2 of them, string them together, so you have a 28-inch single necklace, or have it so that you can double it over or triple it over the neck and be claspless, however you want. But here is just how I store the others, by the way. If you ever want to make sure you store them, I do it with tape at the ends so that they don't come off. So you can see they're all matched goods. So $18 a strand. This is what it looks like to have 5 of them. So you decide however many you want, because these are based on a price 12 years ago that I paid for. 12 years ago. And I have no idea what other than a lot more than what I'm offering for what they would be for now. So, okay, there we go for some jade. Now, let's go to a mineral specimen. 119-9524. And don't mind me if I kind of move quickly here, because quicker than Shawn normally moves, because I have a lot I want to show you, because I have a lot I'm going to show you next week as well. Look at this. Look at this. Now, hold on. Let me get this put away. And then I can show you. This would be a perfect item to wire wrap. And so I thought about having it wire wrap. Or I thought, remember, I've got a great wire wrapper in Andrew. If, it took Miss Gabby a while to get hers done, but Andrew is anxious for work. She gathered up a couple items, a Herkimer quartz crystal, and I think it was also a moldavite, and had and put together too. So you can put together something. Look at this. Look how perfect this would be to wire wrap by itself, or with another crystal of some kind. Look at that. Now, hold on. It gets better. Boom! Look at that mica on the back. Beautiful muscovite. Now let's go in and explore right here, because you're going to find, look at those crystals that are laying right underneath that layer of mica. And now also, let me show you, I was looking at this guy, and let me see if I can find him for you. There is, look at that. Look at that. That is a blue-capped crystal right there you see on the left. So they are not all green. And as we take a little tour around on this piece, look at those crystals, how they are like that. Now, there is also, I believe it's lepidolite. I think some of these white crystals are lepidolite. You can actually easily take a fine point or something as simple as a paper clip or the end of a scissors, and you can actually scrape these off. But be careful, because some of these are what will be keeping the tourmaline crystals in place. But you can actually clean the specimen up yourself. Now hold on one second. I want to show you, so I have a hand free. Let me get this. Oops, sorry about that. Right here. And if I can put this guy, well, it never works out when you want it to. I'm going to show you something on this, but it's one of those deals like last week. I see, I'm going to have to get my other one. All right, hold on. All right, we have Johan here on the camera, and he'll find it. All right, I want to show you. There it is right there. Look at that crystal. Look at that crystal with that olive green cap over the greenish blue. That is so beautiful. And that's what I'm saying. These are not just green. They are blue greens in here. There is expensive green color, not the olive greens, the good greens. And this is a magnificent piece. And with a definite two-sided look to it. And there it is. Look at that. So there is another bicolor one there. Look at that, facet grade cap. And then these are a bluish color hiding underneath there.
Something that was very good.
Look at that. That is a magnificent specimen. Oh, hold on one second now. Do you know how much I like things to stand up on their own? I thought it did. Look at that. I thought it did. Look at that. I just have a feel for when I notice a balance of a specimen, when they will look at that. You couldn't ask for it to display better on its own, because the less you have to distract the eye away from it, like as in a stand of any kind, the more attractive it is to display it. And that really does itself justice in exactly the way it did that for me. That may be on a different spot altogether. Anyway, price on this guy, so much more I could talk about him. But instead, I have so many other things to get to. And I am offering this jewel. Wow, that's a deal. Okay, I have to look at that. It really says what it does, and I am not going to change that price. $58, only $58 on that, and that is a what kind of price. So take advantage of that. I have only the one that is anything like that. And for only $58, that's a lot of bang for the buck. Now, so much more to do. Okay. Next. What is this? Okay. Let me show you. Item number 1197324. 1197324. And this is another one that'll make you go, and something you haven't seen, check this out. Oh yeah, how about a actual rough piece of Queensland boulder opal? And yes, that is red. You are seeing right there. Look at that. And look at those colors. And this is how boulder opal forms. The silica will force its way into little seams, little tiny seams in the ironstone. and that's what you're looking at. They call it ironstone because it has upwards of 30% iron content, and that's why it feels quite heavy. And you're going to see a sphere I have, and a opal matrix sphere that has hematite and red jasper that's from this area. But picture this, see how large that is? That entire item can be made as a cabochon, and that's how they do them. And now imagine how much a cabochon of opal that size would cost. It would be quite expensive as a stone. And so therefore, this piece of rough really shouldn't be offered for anything less than the kind of value it would cut. Look at the reds in here, and the intensity of those colors.
Oh,
And on the ironstone matrix, it makes it of course darkens it like gives you the look of like a black opal would. That is a stunning piece, but it is perfect just the way it is as a specimen, because it's something you don't ever get to see opal in the matrix, so to speak, like this, because it's almost, especially when it's this quality, almost always cut or made into some type of freeform pendant, as this could be. So you could easily take a saw right down through there and trim this up in no time as a cutter. That would not take long at all. Beautiful pattern to the ironstone in general. So it actually, some areas, actually, it was mined for iron in the higher content percentage of ironstone. And that's why, of course, you get those colors also, the brownish color, due to the iron content in it. All right. I don't have another one of these. And, of course, it will sit in any direction. There's a really pretty one that you want it to. That's a really attractive look. How about this for a opportunity price-wise?
sorry.
Yeah, so
Shoot. Yeah.
take advantage of it, because I'm not going to have, like I said, another one like this at all. Nope. Only $118. That should be $248, $288, something like that. Because if you go on the the crazy other sites on the internet, even the discount sites, they will base it on the value that it will cut as a cabochon and reduce it somewhat from there. So the value that it would cut as a cabochon, is easily in the $300-400 range, and because it would be large. So, discount it from there, they could easily justify $248, $288, anywhere in there. And, I could understand why they would ask that. But when Shawn has no idea what he paid for it, where it came from, and just knows it's from a long time ago estate purchase, most likely, or maybe it's even from Roddy, my opal dealer friend. But even with his goods, he often, items like that, just as in the other dealers, they don't make it to a retail market. They are cut on and for in-house retail sales. So they, again, will capitalize on making the money out of it by cutting it as, and that's why it's priced as such, because they base it on what they could get for the item if they cut it as a cabochon. So, excellent price opportunity for those of you that just want a really nice specimen. Now, speaking of really nice specimens, okay, tell you what, before we get to those, let's stick with some opal items here. And let me put that one away, and let me fix my other light, and I'll be right back. Here is something also you haven't seen me be able to do. Offer cutting rough or specimen rough of Ethiopian opal. Now, I showed you before some of the hydrophane properties of this stuff, of how it will go clear or how it will go opaque, but nevertheless, it will not craze. It's amazing how it's able to do that. So this is kind of an in-between stage of this one. You can see I exposed it to a little bit of water. You can see that honeycomb pattern. Look at that. Wow. This actually, if it was able to be cut and exposed as part of the cabochon, look at that is almost a perfect six-sided honeycomb pattern. Extremely, as far as Ethiopian opals go, rare and valuable to see that. So even in a portion as far as the specimen goes. So look at these stones. These you can tell we're going to cut. Look at that. That is going to cut an outstanding stone or facet one as well. That would be a fantastic stone to facet. Here, this is how you can get some of the black opal versions of this material if you can cut the opal so that some of this darker matrix underlies the opal. But probably not in this case. You can probably just keep it as a nice kind of a darker opal specimen, or cut a cab out of it as well. Look at, here's another one that has a little place through there, but could cut two cabochons. Has color, kind of a, looks more like a Mexican fire opal type of look. Look at this. That is a kind of a jelly opal look for certain. And wow, crystal clear, facet grade, absolutely. And what a stone. Now, I remember these, and I remember when I got these from a dealer a long time ago, and I remember being able to sit at the table and pick them out. And not this one though. This is chocolate macesso opal. I threw this one in from my own personal collection. This material was only available in the 90s when it was discovered. Most of it had. This is the Ethiopian opal that did craze. So to find a piece without the crazing in it is extremely rare, and this looks cuttable. So you have and if not, if you don't cut it, what a great specimen, because it is not hydrophane. It stays the way it is, and with the concordal fracture like it is, you have a natural bright finish to it. Okay, so here we go. If you want in on these I had picked a long time ago, high graded, no telling what the material is going for now, but at some point I know that the retail pricing of Ethiopian opal came down. So I am just going to pretend that this did as well and offer it. Oh my goodness, this, what I paid for this is well more than what I'm asking for this entire batch. But anyway, that's going to be up up to you if you want. I am going to offer this for only $68, the entire batch. So, of course, there's easily a stone or two there that would cut that kind of value. And if nothing else, also, wow, you could tumble them. You could just leave them as they are and have a beautiful 6 stones. Ethiopian opal material. Item 119-6424. Look at this. Look at this. Here, this is another one I know a lot of you wanted in on. Wow, check this out. Look at this knobby, or concretion. There's, a lot of different names that these are called, even in Australia, as they can be referred to. And so whatever works for you. They also could be are like little geodes that filled in. You don't have that one, yeah. So it's item 119. Oh no, excuse me, 119-6424. You don't have that one? Do you have the info? Want me to give it to you?
You got it. College first.
Huh?
Yes. Name a different number.
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. Look at that. Okay, so these are what's so hard to find because they cut them up and use them for jewelry as they could. This one has not been exposed to the air, so you can see some of the blue even right there. Look at the multiple rings. Now you can see this is just a coating, this little bit of material over more opal. So pretty much the entire inner part of this is silica, chocolate silica. And you can see that it is going to have a lot of life and color to it. It's kind of neat to see those rings. If I took a saw to this and sawed it in slices, that would be really neat and unusual. But the way it is now, it's completely natural, and there's something good to be said for leaving it that way as well. Only because you just don't see these anymore. Look at the red. So you can see that if you remove this, you're going to have color underneath this entire portion there. So if you wanted to, if you're a lapidary, polish this one side down, just buff this whole as a kind of a domed cabochon to it, and maybe this side as well. That'd be kind of neat if you wanted to mess around with it. Or leave it like it is, because here is, again, a collector opportunity as a specimen. And at this price, only $96. Only $96. And excellent, excellent buying opportunity on that. Now, let's look at item 119-6824. 119-6824. And I have another one, just a little bit more exposed. Look at that jewel.
It's dead.
Cool looking stuff, isn't it, Johan? Beats some other stuff upstairs that you just kind of almost runs the same. But down here in the Mineral and Gem Kingdom of Gem Shopping Network, no two items ever look alike, and you'll see things that not only give you an education, but things that make you go, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then when you hear the price, it's like, wow, even I could afford that. Exactly. Look at this. So look at how big this is. And I have split, well, I haven't personally split these, but I have seen them split before, where the way the split is, it looks like a creature or some kind of different type of form. Like, see this one, you see kind of a mouth over here, maybe some horns. Anyway, we get kind of crazy down here because we can act any way we want. Look at that. Look at that piece. And look at, you can see the silica coming right up to there. Again, if you wanted to, that has a natural polish from the split, but you could always flat lap that completely flat and put a really nice polish on it and make it a little bit more jewelry wise. This one, I had a wire wrap done on one of these. This one would also lend itself to doing that as well. This has all the colors you want, and boy, is that beautiful. That's why, and it's not just more opaque chocolate opal like a piece I showed you earlier. This is a transparent chocolate opal, crystal chocolate opal. I love it. And you're going to love the price because it is affordable. Affordable. Look at that in my hand, okay? So everyone always wants to know the size, and I forget sometimes to do that. Relative size, nothing like looking at in the hand. Wow. Impressive indeed. Especially $77. $77. That is what's impressive. And I have such great stuff. I gotta keep on the move. You're gonna love every single item you see today. And every single item, unless I choose otherwise, is gonna be an item you have never even come close to seeing before. Item number, what was that? Okay, through you. Item number 119-8624. 119-8624. Let's see what it gets us. Let's see what it gets us as we spin the dial. Johan, make it beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Now, that's a sphere. That's a sphere, mate. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is from my friend Roddy's mine. And that's where a lot of the other Boulder Opal pieces over the last several years have come from. So, you know, it is a true story. When I say mine direct, in other words, it is going from the mine, just barely passing through my hands directly to you. And I have had this particular one. At one time, I remember when we got these, he sent us a box. It weighed so much. There was over 100 spheres in it. And, you know, he thought more of them than we did by way of what he was finding in his mind. So we had to kind of have a little talking to him because we had a lot of experience, of course, with all things opal. And it was just too much money, I thought, that he was asking. So renegotiated that, and then we just cherry-picked a few that we thought would work for us. And then, of course, we kept all but we kept them all. This is the last one because it was the one that we liked the most. And so now I'm parting with it. It was also one of the biggest, had some of the most opal in it, and it had this incredible red jasper, but overlaid with, look at this unusual line right here. These often, they call it tiger iron, can be associated with tiger iron. Look at the opal though, and look at the color fire patterns in the opal. You get blues and greens in here. Here's more opal silica. Here's more opal silica. And his mine has and does produce and is in the region of the Koroit opal. So you're going to see, here we go, right there. There is some of that Koroit opal, distinctive kind of comma-shaped and almost calligraphic type of writing that you see. Look at this. Look at this unusual formation. Now, how did that, you see how these layers line up with each other? Then all of a sudden, you have this intrusion, and then these other layers. How did that happen? How did that happen in its formation? And that is what is so much fun about geology. It keeps us guessing. It keeps us, if we figured it all out, then it wouldn't be nearly as exciting as it is. Look at this. So I don't know which way I am spinning this, but it is fun to look at every way. Okay, so let me finish it. Red jasper. Now they call this red jasper. It can be a mix of sedimentary stone, more composite of mixed minerals, mostly with an iron oxide that is giving it that color. So it's not necessarily jasper always per se. Sometimes, yes, it is cryptocrystalline quartz. But as I look at this, I compare the polished surfaces because different hardnesses will give you a different polished surface. And if you have even polished surfaces, then you're talking about it's close to the same makeup of it. And I can see that the opal polish is higher because it's silica, and it will produce a higher gloss finish. But anyway, that's just how I look at these things. Look at this. There you go. There's a dachshund right there. There we go. It's a mean one. Look at that look. There's its eyes. Look at that. Doesn't it look like a dachshund? It really does. We used to have one. We used to have one. There's its other back leg. Look at that. Latif, don't you think?
You don't see the bells on it.
I know. Look at that little nose, even the little spot on the back. And that little devilish kind of eye there, throwing me off there. But the little tail, and then he's got a little harness on him, it looks like, because he's a bad dachshund and runs away a lot. Ours, it barked all the time. Never stopped barking. Anyway, a stunning sphere with, I don't know, that looks like something that the Hubble telescope would have, or the James Webb telescope would have taken from out in the cosmos. All right, so here I'm including one of my rare wooden stands with it, and that is a bonus. Price on this guy, only $118. $118. And remember, spheres are expensive, no matter which way or whatever kind of sphere you get. They're always more expensive than a slab or a chunk of rock. There's a lot of weight loss. This one is really, really cool because if you had any kind of boulder opal sphere with any amount of color in it, it would be, of course, exorbitant in price. But this has all the character that you would want in a sphere from that area, including the Koroit patterns. It has the red jasper. It has the hematite. So when you see those shiny, dark areas, those are hematite lines. You have a myriad of geology in motion going on here. And then unexplainables, like this line going around it. and you don't know which way it originally sat for these to develop, because they're going in so many other directions. It's like the void, the pocket, flipped its poles a couple of times. $118 on that guy. Get it while you can. Oh my goodness, look at this. 119-8224. 8224. This is something you'll never see. Ready, set, boom. Talk about a garnet. Now, everyone knows how my faves are. I collected two things over the 52 years of collecting mineral specimens. And it was my Made in America collection, in other words, pieces that were mined or found in the United States. And the other was simply my birthstone, January. But since there is 6 primary families and multiple subfamilies in the garnet group, it kept me busy over all the years getting the into all the different members of the garnet family, crystalline and cut. So it has left me with some outstanding specimens, this being one of them. And that is one of those items, when you see it, you say, wow, now that's a garnet. That's a garnet indeed.
And Peshkiva.
Now, so of course, it was part of my personal collection. And I was just looking to make sure, and yes, Shawn, you put the opal in the garnet bag, which is something that I do when I have all these incredible things in front of me. I get so excited. Okay, so I'm going to let you spin that around. And spin that around in your mind a little bit when you think about truly the size of it. Now, I'm going to show you some other highlights of it, and you won't be disappointed at all. Okay, let me make sure. Let me get this wooden stand in here so you hear me rattling, I'm sure. Okay, check this out. Now, these garnets are isometric, or at least this almandine is. Isometric meaning equal sides, so you get the dodecahedrons and whatnot. Now, if you look at it like this, you can say, oh, that's 6-sided. That can't be a garnet. Well, no, it's because you don't have it turned the right way. So when you look at it with, let's say, here we go, the triangle. Always when you go to, well, it's not exactly a triangle. When you turn it this way, it's a kind of a rhombohedral face. When you see that, then you look at the rest of it, and now you can see that it is the 12 to 24-sided dodecahedron crystal. And these have been lightly polished. These are well known to be polished. This is Italy. So remember, I was talking about the minerals from Italy, and I didn't even mention this one because I wanted to be a surprise. Garnet crystals from this particular area, from the Seaber Valley, they are so large and beautiful that they often are polished and sold to tourists because they'll form in like clusters and whatnot. So this is why you can see this is lightly polished. It is in a mica schist, and you can see that as well. And it looks like this has actually been polished and stabilized. So that's why there's nothing that can be peeling off of here, like sometimes the schists I bring in with the garnets in them from my backyard. No, this is well secured. Now, let me show you, and if we could just drop the kicker there for a minute, we are going to look at this a little closer so we can see the red. Look at that. Now, as I go along the edge, and of course, because of its size, the color penetration won't go that far, but when you do it along the edge, it gives you an idea of, look at that, just how intense and how transparent, look at that, the garnet actually is. And that's why sometimes you'll see a crystal of any kind of mineral, ruby, sapphire, diamond, and you'll look at it and it's like, oh, that's ugly, that won't cut anything. Well, no. It may not cut something big and large, but there's lots of areas in a crystal like this that can be cleaned Or if it's a really valuable piece, when you start cutting into it, you might cut 1 carat stones. If it's a valuable crystal, like I'm going to show you one in a minute, then it's certainly worth it to cut it up. But these, something like this, is much more valuable in its matrix crystalline form. Thank you, sir. And that's why it's best left alone. So you can, again, see all the different sizes. You just don't look at it down on it like that because it's not oriented per se like that. You can also, if you wanted to, remove it from the schist and have a complete crystal like that. That's a neat piece. And also, it is affordable. It is certainly going to be, especially from Italy, a really unique specimen. I know a lot of people that actually have traveled to Italy and vacationed there recently. So if they want something really cool, that would be a great memorable item from there. The Sieber Valley in South Tyrol, and a one-of-a-kind polished almandine crystal for certain. And now that I'm actually looking at the info I have here, I think, did I leave off? Yeah, okay, well, I see the Italian up there, so I guess it was there somewhere. $77. Only $77 on that. Take advantage of it. That is, for what it is, a cabinet size specimen. Look how big that is in my head. Wow. That is a beautiful, beautiful specimen. Truly. And it shows color without having to have any other lighting on it. Now, I'm going to show you, what I'm going to show you next is a amazing rarity for all kinds of reasons. Let's look at item 1197824. 1197824. Being Labor Day, this is why I am putting up so many cool, awesome items so that you can watch this show all day long, over and over, until you decide all the pieces that you want. Because maybe this next item is what you've looked for all your life. How would you like a stunning sapphire crystal? Look at that, Johan. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Look at that. And where are you going to find another one of those? Believe me, I tried to find another one of those, and other than the ones that were in Mindat, that are the reference crystal site, I didn't see anything.
Is that happening?
Let me, really, 1197824? 119, okay, you want that? Let me give you my info sheet, or do you have it? In case there's another one. You know the one I sent you?
You go.
Let me give that to you, so you can write up any others that are missing. Can you run this over to him, please?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, you got the back sheet? Is it printed out so you can see it easy? Here, just give. You may want that. Just give that.
Where?
It may be something else. All right. This sapphire crystal. Okay. Now, this sapphire crystal has mica on the side. As you can see, you have mica. And then you also have feldspar here. So this is doubly terminated. In other words, it didn't break off from a larger crystal. So they call these floaters. So they will form in a pocket, free floating basically in the magma. I don't see anywhere on here that it was part of something else. So this seems to be what they call a floater. Now, the other thing that I learned, and the metaphysical crowd probably is familiar with it, but this is called a record keeper. A record keeper crystal is one that will have these triangle formations on the terminations, and this has it on both ends of it. They look like pyramids. Look at it. Looks like the Great Pyramids. Just needs the third one in the back there somewhere. Or the Sphinx. That even looks like a formation. Things you can see. Here is your feldspar, your mica, and then this stunning, stunning crystal. Now, let's do the color again there, Mr. Johan, if you want to dim that or turn the kicker off. Look at how deep that is. Now look at that light is all the way in the middle. Look at the penetration of light down into this stunning crystal. Look at how far that goes. That tells you just how transparent it is. I'm looking to see if it comes all the way through. Wouldn't that be something? That would be like not for sale. Look at that. And you know, you never really know. I mean, I could probably say that there's not any transparent areas on the inside, but that might be premature of me. How would I really know? You don't. You just kind of assume because both ends look opaque that the middle is going to be similar. Look at those color blue though. That is a more intense color blue, and that is what also makes this different is the fact that it is a blue sapphire. It is a true, when people think of sapphire, it can be any other color except red, then it's called ruby. So, this could be just a common gray sapphire or whatnot, but it is the color, thank you, sir, that people think that and relate with sapphire, and that is the color of blue. And then again, record keeper, if you're in the metaphysical crowd, I'll just read to you some of its properties as a record keeper for those of you that are interested in that part, which of course the metaphysical properties of minerals and gems have been assigned to them since the beginning of time. Some of these things go back thousands of years and actually had a scientific root in the actual belief of some of the, quote, powers assigned to it. So a record keeper is a pyramidal or triangular symbols on the crystal, which you see on this one on both ends of it. It stimulates healing of any disease, and it harmonizes the higher vibration energies that will help heal other parts of the body. So that's a special piece for that reason. So this is from Chiles in the Daimar district, and a large crystal, even to that area, is what this is, a large, well-formed crystal. Price on this guy, again, it would stand out in a showcase. Let me hold it in my hand so you get an idea. Look at the size of that beauty. That is an impressive crystal indeed. Price on it, only $148. $148. That's why, some of these opportunities are exactly that. Incredible opportunities price-wise. It's because, again, I don't want to have to show them twice, and I need the money. As many of you are well familiar with that mantra of mine, and I need to get some teeth. I wish I had my tractor back. I got to go for that gold that I left behind in the backyard. But I still know where it is. Okay, now, let me show you next something. Okay, so we have sapphire there. Let's look at item 1197724. It could be called ruby, it could be called sapphire, it could be called corundum, but what you can call it for certain is world class. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that purple sapphire. That is remarkable. A remarkable specimen. And I tell you what, these are very much in demand and desirable. They're called polychrome. So that polychrome sapphires, meaning that they not only will change color with the sunlight, but they also have varying colors within the crystal itself. So some crystals can be partially blue and purple, can be partially red and purple, without even going to an alternate wavelength of light like the sun. And then sometimes they can be blue and go to purple color, just like the color change pieces. But here's another amazing thing about them: the fluorescence. The fluorescence that turns that crystal stunning red, a beautiful, beautiful, bright, deep red. Now, on this piece, you have, of course, the purple sapphire. You have the dark black biotite mica. Biotite mica was named for a French scientist, Biot, probably, instead of Biot, an American way we would say it. In 1847, it was named for him. He was a French scientist and big into mineral specimens. It is considered a potassium, iron, magnesium, titanium type of, with different other elements that can be substituted out. So that's not, it's one of those formulas that the main thing you have to know is it's a potassium. It begins with a K, potassium type of mica. The other type of mica is phlogopite, which is a potassium magnesium mica. Then there's garnet on this. By the way, phlogopite was named from the Greek word phlogopos. I'm sure Penny will correct me if I get it wrong. By Berthaupt. We know Berthaupt, Berthauptite. I've offered and sold that material before. It often is found with silver ores in Canada. And Berthaupt has named so many minerals, kind of like an Aween for other people, and discovered minerals as well, lots of them. So he named it Phlogopos because in Greek it means resembling fire, due to some of the original biotite pieces having a red tint to them. Also on this piece is a potassium feldspar. Now when we say we call it K feldspar, K-feldspar. Remember I told you how many different types of feldspars there are. Well, depending on what type of potassium feldspar, it could be a microcline, orthoclase. If it's microcline, it's triclinic. Orthoclase, it's monoclinic. They are both have the same chemical formula of each other, just different crystal systems. And all that is going on in this piece. Now let me show you some of the highlights. Look at the secondary crystal right here. Here, look at that. See what I'm talking about? By the polychrome colors, you have in this one crystal a purplish blue and a pink. Isn't that cool? And the whole thing fluoresces amazingly red. Let me show you. Look at these. Look at these. These are garnets. You have lots of garnets in this. Look at, here's an entire kind of massive garnet crystals made up of smaller garnets. Now, they claim also rhodolite is found along with other garnets, and there is definitely rhodolites in this piece that you'll see them, they're the more pink and purple color ones. Now let me bring this in close and let's look at this incredible specimen. All right, do the thing on the light there, my man, and let's look at that. Look at that purple, but you can see how there's purple and pink within this gem, and let's see if we can't take it over to this side, and if we can get a, there we go, here we go, at the edge, so you can see, look at the intensity and the translucency, and look at how deep that goes. That's amazing. And again, the entire thing, look at that, fluoresces a bright red. Wow. And you can see the pink, and the pink stops where the purple begins. So there's actually a secondary color which you can only really see when it is, a lot of light is brought to the piece. Thank you, sir. Now let's look at it and see what it looks like. Ah, there we go. We do see the color division right there, the pink to the purple, and why they are called polychrome. This is a world-class specimen for the factors of all that it holds. You also have, look at that, it's also a recorder crystal. There's the triangle on top of the hexagon. Here, look at all these. This is a one large, as we come back away from it a little bit, one large garnet crystal piece. And then let's keep looking. You have feldspars. So the white crystals are feldspar, and it's either going to be a microcline or a orthoclase, most likely. And then look at the garnets that you have. Also, some of these brownish crystals are also can be transparent phlogopite. So let me show you a definitive phlogopite crystal so you can look at it from here. Look at this, and it all of a sudden jumped out at me when I was looking at this. At this crystal, let me get my other light here, because this particular crystal didn't look like a phlogopite crystal at first. Let me turn that off. But then look at, this is the one we're looking at. So now, right there, look at that crystal. And when you look at it from this way, then look at the layers. You can see that it is a phyllosilicate. In other words, a made up of sheets of layers. And if we put light to it, look at that. Look at the transparency, translucency to the crystal itself, which would lead you to think it's not a type of mica. But no, indeed it is. It is a large, actually beautiful representation of a phlogopite crystal. So you can use it for comparison on many of the others on here as to whether they are garnet or phlogopite. Look at the different colors. Look at the different colors in this. And there we go. There's your blue. It said if you look at them in the sunlight, a lot of them will go blue. And you know this flashlight is a wavelength of light that mimics sunlight at the 6,500 Kelvin temperature level, which is about equivalent to where I am in Georgia. So the further north you go, the temperature, the Kelvin temperature changes. It's naturally different. So look at this, and here is your color change. So, okay, boy, talk about being able to show it easily, and that's why, again, they call them polychrome. You can see as soon as the light color is taken away, so is the color. Look at that. So, wow, what a gem. Now let's put that down here, and you can see, then look at how beautiful the purple is with pink and the other colors as well. And then now you have, look at how this whole crystal is supported by feldspar around it. And then look at the triangles on the bottom. You could extricate the crystal if you so desired, but to me, it is a much more valuable piece in the matrix and so much more attractive. I'm a matrix guy. I like matrix or other crystals involved with my specimen. As you can see here, garnets are prevalent on this piece all around, and you can see, well, you don't even need light to see the translucency to those. And then there was rhodolites on here as well, along with the different garnet groups and the different phlogopite. And then look at, wow, there are amazing crystals on here. And then we didn't even look back here. Look at this. What is that? That is, I mean, if I wasn't looking at the big ruby on top, I would think that this would have been some of the main interest on the piece itself. Look at those. What am I? I'll do the what am I to myself. Hold on a second. And don't know if I'd have any luck here. I believe I would just do a hardness test would be the first thing that I would do. And that would tell me then what realm I am in. Wow, there we go. There they are. There's the one that's looking at. Boy, they almost look spessartine, or like a grossular. Look at that. This is very desirable. This is a very beautiful specimen with a lot left to be discovered. And it makes me wonder what's underneath some of these other layers. There could be more sapphires. There could be more garnets. There could be more of everything. Look at that. So anyway, look at that. This is a world-class piece. It's from the Zazafotsky quarry, if I got that right. And a stunning world-class specimen. Only at a price that is half to a third of anything. There wasn't even anything even close to really compare it to. I was curious. And then sometimes I shouldn't do that, because then I wonder, why am I selling something so inexpensive when I can't even find anything to compare it to? Or within, anything that's even in the same number of figures, like 3 figures, and everything will be 4 figures, as in the thousands. Price on this, $278. Only $278 if you want a stunning world-class specimen for not a lot of money, for relative to what it is and its rarity. That one is one you need to get. Now, so much more. I hope I have more time, because the shows like today's show are the ones I really enjoy, because I have got the goods. 119-7224. And this is why I say I don't always know what I have, because again, there were so many different estates I got in, and again, I'd have a moment to look at them in the back of a minivan in boxes, and I'd give one price, and then the girls would wrap it up. I'd take it home. I'd drag it into the house, into some other corner that's already got a box. So I stack it on top of the other box. And then we move once, we move twice. By then, things are everywhere. And they're gone. Gone. And so when I found this box in the upper corner of the closet and felt the weight, I thought, wow. And then I opened up the first specimen, and I'll show you the one. It's coming up. And I never had seen it before. And I thought, wow, this is. And then it was just a kid on Christmas. I went crazy. It was truly Christmas morning. And even though I grew up one of 6 children, 6 siblings, my mom, I don't know how she did it, but those presents extended so far away from the Christmas tree. It was so much fun. And then, of course, we all took turns, one at a time, and we all oogled and awed over the other person's present before the next person could open it up. Christmas morning, we got to open up one present each before church, which was like really deviling us. Boy, you talk about wanting to bail out of church, like Catholic church. And yeah, maybe want to be a pew hopper. Let me tell you just one story. So I ended up to be a head altar boy. And so we did a lot of different masses as altar boys. And there was this one gentleman, we nicknamed him the pew hopper. And he made mass regularly, but he would go to the early mass. But by golly, when it came time to leave, and if he was stuck in the middle of a pew with people on each end of him, nothing was going to stop him from getting out that door before the rest of the congregation and getting out of the parking lot. He literally would hop the pews, dude. Yep. He would hop the pews and standing up and hop one back to the other until he got to where he could get out from the end of it, and then down the aisle he bolted, and we called him the pew hopper. And you know what, though? There was many times, if my mom wasn't director of religious education for not only the parish, but later the entire diocese of St. Petersburg, I would have been pew hopping right there with them, because if you didn't, and it was a big congregation, you could get really hung up getting out the door and everybody talking and greeting each other. And you're a teenage guy wanting to get to the beach. And yeah, so anyway, that's where these conversations can go. In Shawn's show of transparency. Because I just tell it like it is, and that was another wonderful story about growing up. So with all of us siblings, there was Christmas morning. It was a thing to behold, and the whole ritual, it was amazing. Versus these kids that just rip into the presents one after the other, and 15 minutes later, all your hard work, all the money saved, and it's all nothing but a bunch of paper, and it's over with. Not at our house. Not at our house. Christmas, my mom would set out just hors d'oeuvres with 6 kids. We didn't do a big fancy dinner because she knew everybody would want to play with the toys. So we just made sandwiches all day long as we wanted, whenever we wanted. It was a great idea. So anyway, a little bit of some of my growing up history. Because after the age of 11, my mom started getting me and actually going to the rock shop that I worked at and buying specimens for me and rocks and a pound of, agates and tumbling stuff. And it was great. It was great. I got what I wanted, All right. Let me show you. Item 119-7224. Everybody, something you've never seen. Look at this. Look at that. Now, this is danburite, and you can always spot a danburite. It has this very well-defined, some call it a chisel termination, or a flathead screwdriver type termination. Chisel probably a little bit more appropriate, and then it's danburite. Now, danburite, its type locality where it was first discovered was Danbury, Connecticut, and you know what? I saw Danbury, Connecticut in the news because the name just stood out to me when I saw it. Normally, it probably wouldn't have. Just last week, it was one of those cities that got flooded with all that rain up in Connecticut, and I thought, wow, where is the danburite? Did it flush out some more danburite? Last I heard, though, the city had covered over the danburite, and it was no more. Versus Goshenite in Goshen, Massachusetts, and that's another story. Anyway, look at this. Then as we look closer, you're going to see what really makes this piece special, and it is the other, not only danburite crystals, but the other quartz crystals associated with this piece. And this is from the Aurora mine, so we know the exact mine that this was found at. And you have often what is found with these and will be data-like crystals. I'd have to look specifically to see if this one has any. You also have quartz, of course, these beautiful little quartz crystals associated. There's also some other minerals that I have not fully identified. But let's see, these little beauties, and you can see those terminations right there. That's a quartz crystal up there. There we go. Here we have a cluster of quartz and kind of cemented together there with probably maybe a feldspar. And as we continue to look, now almost all the danburites that came out of this particular mine were very included, as you see this one is. And that was just atypical of them from this locality. Oh, look at that. Look at the iridescence on that one. And that's just it, you never know. You just have to look at these different lighting as close as you can, and then you start finding the really cool stuff that a lot of people would miss. There's also pink danburites that can be found. Look at this. See, a neat little crystal like that, just kind of, protruding out from there, never getting noticed, never getting seconds at the dinner table. But we see it, we noticed. Look at that crystal, and look at that unusual growth that has formed on top of it. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot to be discovered on this piece. And as we look at this, look at these quartz crystals. So at first it doesn't look so attractive, but when you start noticing it and looking at it with detail in mind, then all of a sudden it becomes something much more special. And such as this specimen.
What?
Look at those crystals. There's just a lot to see. And it can be turned and displayed in many different ways. Look at that. See, I didn't even look in little pockets like that. And that's where sometimes you can find a completely different mineral and maybe something really unique and rare. All right. Danburite is a calcium borosilicate, so that kind of makes it unusual. The Aurora mine, you can check it out. And this also has something else special with it, and that is an old label. Look at this label. It is even a numbered piece. So that assures you of locality, of provenance to the piece. Look at this, 11/19/11. So that is 14 years old right there. So some other, maybe a cost code, defining cost code, but I love that. So that gives you an idea as far as some reference in time. So most likely that even may have been a date I put on there. And if that's the case, it makes this label and the piece going back much further, most likely. Instead of 14 years, 20, 25 years old, something like that. So anyway, I have a price that is affordable, making it available for anybody that wants it for only $78. Only $78. Look up the Aurora mine and just how special a piece like that is. Now, let me show you what I mean by special in this next item. Oh yes, this is the item that I said I had never seen before. Item 119-8024. 119-8024. So I never remember, and you'd think that I would have. Let me put this up. And so just to give you all an idea, Johan, could you just shoot this box? Okay, this is how this shredded type paper is amazing for keeping something like this quickly safe. You can I just usually create a little nest, a little area for it, getting it below the height of the lid. And when it's down in there like that, boy, nothing can really affect it by dropping it or anything like that. It really is safe. So I got some of that from the inventory department here because I hear how well they always pack all of the items you guys compliment them about, and I pass them on. So let me show you. I needed that to give me a moment to clean this off, and then the specimen I've never seen before. As I put it in here behind, it's all about the suspense. And I turn it on, hold on. Check this out. Check this out. Bam. Look at that. Chihuahua Mexican wolfenite. And if you think y'all are laughing at home that I don't know how to pronounce Chihuahua, well, laugh all you want. That's the way I pronounce it, so I remember how to spell it. Ay, Chihuahua, Chihuahua, Mexico. And I tell you what, the Los Lamentos mine is closed now, but it produced some stunning minerals in its time. Now, Los Lamentos in Spanish means lamentations because there is two ridge tops, two mountain tops that are close to the mine. And when the wind blows, it creates this unusual, spooky, weird noise emanating from between the peaks, and hence the name Lamentations, because of the sound of the wind through them. I think that's a great name. So the name of the mine is Los Lamentos. This particular specimen has wolfenite, which you should know by now. It is a lead molybdenate. So molybdenum belongs to the chromium group of metals and is used as a hardener for steel, and extremely important wartime mineral and mineral in general. So a good find, certainly, for anybody to find an ore deposit. Now, this was quite some time ago, and it has produced a lot of different ore for a long time. Now, so you're familiar with wolfenite. Next, the mimetite. Mimetite is a lead chloroarsenate. So it contains arsenic and chlorine in its composition. So that's kind of different and unique. And let me show you now. So all the yellow that you see here is mimetite crystals. And they look like they're on ridges. And what they are on, they're not creating those ridge formations. They are just on top of them, just like vanadinite is on top of the barite crystals that we've offered before. Well, mimetite belongs in that family, and it is on top of barite again. You say, where's the barite? I'm going to show you one of the most unusual formations I've never seen before. Look at the underside of this. This has formed a concretion, or this is the white that you see is crystallized barite. And the center is a cryptocrystalline quartz. It's like the closest thing I've seen this to is like what Herkimer diamonds are in. It is almost like a crystallized limestone, except it's like a quartzite. It is extreme, it's hard and durable. Now, this also contains what looks like potentially little other crystals, maybe other garnets, but look at the border around this. That's another mineral itself. And then, so this formed like a geode concretion around the center, and then on top of that formed the mimetite. There we go, great shot there. And actually, let me do this. Let me turn this off, and let's look in closer at the mimetite. And there you have it. Look at those. There we go. We can see the crystals now. Look at that. So just little crystals, but then, boom, the wolfenite. There's the desirable crystals. And then look down here. There is the one that aesthetically carries it away. Beautiful caramel color, just what you want to see. Very little damage. So many of these are dinged and damaged. And here is the other thing that's really desirable. They call it a sandwich formation. And here you can see why. You have a darker layer of wolfenite between two lighter colors. You can see that in several of these. And right there, you see that? There's another one. Almost all of these, look at that, are that very desirable and collectible formation for wolfenites. Look at how beautiful, and look at the condition of them. It is excellent for wolfenites. So many of them end up chipped or dinged, and this has very few, which I'm surprised because of the way they're formed to the outside of this piece. Look at that. So you have mimetite, you have wolfenite in a completely different format, with growing on top of the barite with mimetite surrounding it. And look at that.
That.
And with the very desirable, there we go. There's a great view of the caramel color sandwich formation that is really desired among collectors. A stunning piece. And then look at that big one. And as we come back and look at this as a whole in my hand, you can see that's a small cabinet specimen, but it was that large on the side, extremely attractive and very aesthetically beautiful and desirable. Price on this guy, the mine is closed. There won't be any more, and what's in the market is only comes up from items like this. When I find, or someone else finds something that it was tucked away, they didn't know they had, and then they release it and make it available to the market. Mimetite belongs to the apatite group because of the end formation of the chemical formula. And I tell you what, price on this guy, wolfenites are never inexpensive, especially desirable location ones like this, that where the mine has been closed. And then the unusual formation out of everything Mindad had. There was not a single, and Mindad is like the encyclopedia of reference for mineral specimens. There was not a single one that had even remotely close to a barite nodule or concretion or whatever you want to call what happened here. This could be something on a level of rarity and uniqueness far beyond the way I have priced this. So whoever gets this, if you found out I gave away a 50-cent piece for a nickel, well, hopefully you'll share it by just continuing to support the show, knowing that you have a prized piece that you got for pennies on the dollar, so to speak. Price on this guy, it's never going to be less than this. Final deal, $188. $188. All right, let me take a moment, put this up safely, and I'll be right back. All right, considering that I don't know if I've actually ever showed you a specimen of this or offered for sale, one of any kind of size, I'm just curious. So those of you looking right now, in your own mind, come to an idea of what you think the green stone is. And then when you find out, let me know if you got it right when you find out what it may really be. And as Johan takes us in closer, maybe we'll be able to figure it out. Now, what I see that's different is there's some other crystals, silver crystals in here, silver color at least, that I've never seen associated with this mineral before, or let's say gemstone. All right, you have an idea in mind what this is? Go ahead, Latif, pull up the graphic. What am I? Russian uvarovite. That is the most valuable and rarest garnet of all of them. It makes horsetail inclusion demantoid look like common sand. It is that rare. Now, I have told you about my Outokumpu story of the garnet from Finland that the Raven and I were going at a show that I was kind enough to take her to, and she about trips me. Of course, I'm embellishing a little, trying to get to this one little old man that had about maybe 20, 30 specimens in front of him, maybe 40, and she goes right to a big green dodecahedron in matrix and asks the man how much it is before I even got a chance. And she just, and so he says, well, it was like she almost knew what it was, but she wouldn't know what it was. I knew what it was. How did she know what it was? And she didn't dicker the price or anything. She just said, I'll take it, and gave the man the cash money before I had a chance to even pick it up. It is one of the best values I have ever seen her buy, and especially if I would have bought it for the same price, it would have been one of the best deals I would have ever bought. But no, you think she's ever given that back or giving me a chance, even though it was my birthstone? No. This Outokumpu, Finland, is the most desirable location, I think, probably for Uvarovite. It is a place where you can get some of the larger ones, and her crystal in matrix, still, that stinker. I don't know what, and you know what? I've lost items out before by trying to negotiate down a price when it was a fair price to start with, and somebody else swoop in and buy it in the amount of time that I'm thinking about it. Like, I'll go around the corner of a booth, and I lost out on an amazing chrysocolla malachite piece, and he got his original price, and it was all because the Raven got too excited about it in front of him. I said, that's just the same way she was when she was buying cars with her mom when she was a teenager. Her mom always bought her a car, and she'd run up and say, Mommy, I just love that car. I gotta have it, Mommy. I love that car. And her mom would tell her time and time again, would you just be quiet? I got to negotiate price. You can't go and give away all your cars. No. Raven didn't care. She just saw the car she wanted and went crazy for it. And this happened over and over to her mom, said that. And she's like that. It's like she has no negotiation savvy when it comes to how to get something at a lower price. But I tell you what, on that garnet, didn't matter. She was wise. She didn't waste any time. She plunked down that money, and my jaw has been dropped ever since. Dang it. You talk about, these are so rare when they are any size, and the one she has is a beautiful size. I got to bring it in sometime and show you. Plus, being a Finnish, the locality is extremely desirable. Okay, so the chromite mine opened in 1889. This is from the most famous mine for all Uvarovites. So all the Uvarovites you see that are cut and made into jewelry using the small crystal pieces like this, they all come from the same location, and that is the Saranovsky mine in Russia. And obviously, all these pieces are old and estate items. The mine first opened in 1889. The Outokumpu mine in Finland, of course, is renowned for its larger size. Now, the type locality is the Saranovsky mine, where it was discovered. Isometric, it is a calcium chromium garnet, so a very unique type of garnet. Hardness 6.5 to 7, and it was named for the Count Uvarov, Uvarov. He was a Russian statesman and scholar. But here is what makes this uber unique. Look at these acicular needle crystals throughout. These are found nowhere else but from this one locality, and it's called Shuskiat. And in Russian, it's just Shusky. But the American version of it is Shuskiite. And even Mindat, the only pictures they have worldwide of any of this material, it is found only associated with the garnets and from this one particular location. That's it. Now, what is Shuskiite? and it's Schuskite Mg, meaning magnesium. So it is a calcium magnesium chromium with silicon and oxygen, and it's with a hydroxyl molecule. That's an OH molecule. So it is calcium, magnesium, and chromium. So if it wasn't a Schuskite magnesium, it would be kind of similar to uvarovite being calcium, chromium, silicon, and oxygen. So quite similar, but it has magnesium as well and found no place else. So I know that all my other specimens I've had of uvarovite, none of them had these crystals. None of them. They're extremely rare. So if you want to add a new mineral to your collection, here is your chance. Besides, also, these particular uvarovites are quite large relative to others that are really, I would consider as druzy. Now let me show you. We'll add a little magnification to these, and then there we go. Do your magic, and look at the crystals. Those are so beautiful. And then look at the Schuskite. Those are beautiful. And wow, look at that uvarovite. Look at those gems. What beautiful, beautiful gems. So take advantage of this piece. I only have the one. It's all chromite. The rest is chromite, so it has a nice weight to it. It displays beautifully. No one else will have a specimen probably with the Schuskite on it. And I am offering this at a world-class opportunity. Let's go ahead and make it only $138. $138 for that. It's worth that if it was half the size without the Schuskite. But with the Schuskite, I can tell you, that's a jewel. 119-8824. Let's see what time we got. Oh, good. I'm glad we started early. I'm glad we still got time because I still have lots to show you. Lots to show you. And lots of, I hope you're taking notes because there's a lot of noteworthy taking items in this bunch that I'm showing you. And let me get a stand for this next item. Not that it's going to come with the stand, mind you, because you know what a cheapskate I am. I offer things so cheap. Some of these stands are a whole buck each or something, you know? And so, but I found some more stands along with these amazing specimens, so I might include a stand with some of them. Look at this next piece. Now, I have a great segue here going on because weren't we just talking about Finland? What else comes from Finland that is the best of its kind? The best of its kind. What else could it be? Well, only one thing comes to mind for me. Item 119-8924. 119-8924. And that would be the finest variety of labradorite in the world, called spectralite. Look at this. Now, I can just have it like that. You say, well, that's nothing special. Let's take a little bit more. What if we just showed off a little bit of that? Would that be amazing? Yeah, it's getting pretty amazing. What if we did get a silver sheen? Well, that's kind of different. Well, that and nothing special there, is there? Or is there not? You're going to have to iris down there, boss man, because this is going to burn through the camera. Look at this go, and we're not done yet. Look at the rarest and most valuable color in labradorite there is. And you're only going to find this type of intensity in spectralite. Now, spectralite is a member of the feldspar family. It's a type of plagioclase, but it's a specific type of plagioclase. Plagioclase runs the family of plagioclase for feldspars. There's quite a number of them that belong to the plagioclase family. And what matters is the difference between sodium and calcium content. So it goes from albite to anorthite. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Now, look at this, at all the different angles. And when you think there's nothing up at the top, well, yeah, look at that fill in. Look at that. That is what makes spectrolite from Finland so recognizable and different from Madagascan labradorite is not only the patterns, but the colors and the variation of the patterns, and also then this silver sheen, the silver sheen. Now, as we keep turning this, it will just glow. And it is polished on both sides. Look at the top, look at the top. And as we come away from this a little, you're gonna get to see, as I hold the entire piece, everything that it will do by way of, look at that, labradorescence. Look at that. And you can see how dark it is, yet it's gonna be a translucent piece, but you can't see my finger behind it. But let me show you. That's how you can distinguish, look at that. Look at the light. So, but yet it's black. And that's how you know it's spectrolite, is it has a very black base color tone to it. Okay, so we've only turned this and messed around with it a little bit. We've seen that there is color through most of it, but I don't think we have discovered all of it. But let's see what the other side holds. What does it do? It's polished. Oh, look at that. And I did not know it was going to do that at that particular angle. That alone, that one area alone, it makes for some of the most valuable spectrolite you could ever hope for. Look at that as I continue to rotate it. That color purple with the orange and the purple orange like that, that is what you want to see. And that is what Madagascan labradorite, look at that. How can it go from that color to what we just saw? It disappeared. Then we have that pattern. Look at that unique pattern. Boom, boom. Wow, look at that. Where'd the yellow blue go? Look at, there it is. There it is. The different layers, and that is what it's about. It's about the layers creating the diffraction of light. So look at, you have almost no purple in that one, and then you get the unusual layers like that. Look at that. And then we have the sometimes elusive, but always ever present. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous, Johan? Isn't that stunning? Isn't that stunning? That's just breathtaking, but we're not done. If you thought the top part was dead, look at that. Look how that starts lighting up. And then look at that. Oh my. Oh, that looks like a thunderstorm through the clouds at night with lightning behind the clouds as the rain came down. I actually also see what it looks like is actual phantoms of the crystal formation growth through there. You can see the angular formations of it. And then let's see what else. You have that classic silver color coming across the whole item. And you know, labradorite is about when you have really good stuff, is about exactly doing what I'm doing, turning it all kinds of ways until you can find so many different looks. Look at this is where the purple and the yellow blend together. And the top part of this, they wouldn't have left it there if it didn't have something to offer. And sometimes, look at that, look at where just that's purple and that's different. Sometimes you have to keep playing with it until it does give you what you're looking for. And I'm curious, let me try this lighting here and see what it brings out. Because again, different wavelengths of light, different colors reflected back out. And that's part of the fun, is getting out all your different lights. This can be drilled. I'll drill it for no additional charge if you just want to drill it at the top so you can hang it or wear it as a pendant. Just have a work order written up by your sales rep. And as far as I know, this is not, I do not have another piece of finished spectralite. And this is the good stuff. And this, between the top portion and the bottom portion, shows all really of the desirable content that people love this material so much for. The unique patterns, the intense colors, and that super elusive purple that in the Madagascan material is really difficult to find there. That's what I was looking for. I knew there was something at the top here. I just hadn't had it. Look at that. Look at that. I did not have it at the right angle. And now I had seen it once before. And that's why I said sometimes you just have to keep turning it. And I had to get this obtuse enough at the right angle. And then look at, you have the purples and those colors showing up in the top portion as well. Wow. Wow. There is more to be found. I will let whoever gets this do the discovery themselves. There is more to be found on this side as well, because I remembered there to be. So it must be so. Look at this piece overall. This is one of those, oh my goodness, hold on. I just saw it at the top. What angle did I have? Look at the bottom portion. But I just had it and I can see it. So how would I, here we go. If I turn it this way, there it is. If I turn it this way to the camera, look at that. Look at that.
Yep.
That's why they kept the top portion. There was a lot more to be found. And it was I think on this side, except it would maybe be this way. Well, I could play with this piece all day. But there we go. There we go. Look at that. Now don't even have it done. Now that I know which way to turn it. So the light source is coming directly from this way. Stunning, stunning piece, and a real collector's item. Look at that. There we go. We'll just leave it like that for the moment. That is impressive indeed. So, in the Plagiate Clays family, you have anorthite to albite. In between, you have bitonite, labradorite, andesine, and oligoclase. Albite is a sodium aluminum silicate, feldspar. Anorthite is a calcium aluminum silicate. In between, such as the other labradorites and bitonites, a combination for different percentages of sodium and calcium, both in the same piece. So it's the difference is the percent of albite to anorthite is what makes something, whether it's a bitonite or a labradorite, or an andesine, all belonging to the plagioclase family. So a little additional info for you there. This piece, which is phenomenal and really hard to find, I am offering it for only, my goodness, let's see. Let's do it for, I'll tell you what. So you can even see, know the name of the quarry it comes from and everything. You can see I'm really not wanting to give it up, but I'm going to make it a great, great price. 115 carat. Something like this, I looked at a few of these, I got to admit, and they were wanting a fortune for the spectralites. And they weren't even as nice as this. Let's do this, $77. Only $77. That is a bargain, to be sure. That is a bargain, to be sure, and a real jewel. Just a real jewel. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this. Let's get into this and move quick on it. Item number 119-7424. I have so many pieces to show you. Pieces that I thought I had long since sold. Look at this. Who has heard of Mahenge? You haven't heard of that much in a while. Remember those incredible spinels we used to offer and sell 8-9 years ago? You remember them? Yep. Well, they all started off as a crystal of some form. Not quite like this, but somewhat like this. Maybe a little cleaner. Look at this. This is an incredible pink Mahenge spinel crystal. And now, I've had the Burmese ones, and they are stunning. They are stunning. But as far as crystals go and availability, the Tanzanian crystals are remarkable. The purple ones I've offered and sold, this is a beautiful, and a lot of them aren't perfectly formed. In other words, a spinel crystal is isometric. It's a bipyramidal. It looks like two pyramids base to base, just like a diamond. But this one, look at that. This one could easily cab a really nice stone. Of course, I think it's a stunning. You see the evenness of the color? There is no real fractures or inclusions that I can see in it. And picture a beautiful spinel cap. Because it's not a fantastically and wonderful shape to the crystal, this, if you're ever going to cut one, it would be a good one to use that way because you're not destroying a fantastic crystal. But it still, nevertheless, is a beautiful piece. Let's kill that light and show them what's on the inside. Look at that. Look at that. Now, that is the translucency. Look at that intensity of color. Let me see it in this light over here now, sir. Look at that. Look at the pink. That's more like the color. So that's using my flashlight that is the sun, wavelength of the sun. So you're seeing it exactly as we see the color. Okay. Without a difference underneath a different wavelength light. Look at that. That is a candy pink. Bubblegum pink. That's it. That's the colors we used to use. Bubblegum pink. Beautiful natural crystal of spinel. Thank you, sir. And I don't have another one. I had a dozen at least of these, all different sizes and qualities and prices. I didn't know I had this one left. You can see it has some mica. Oh, that's the other thing, intense fluorescence, and I mean intense, because spinel with creating the color is manganese, and manganese is like a light switch for fluorescence in a lot of different minerals, and as is chromium as well. But This is for you fluorescent lovers out there, wow. It is a neon type of red fluorescence. I could talk about the magnetism to it and all, but that's for another day because I have so much still to do. Anyway, price on this, here's a ridiculous opportunity. And this is, yeah, I have a new one for you, Brad. A new color effect. So sometimes on a crystal like this, when you backlight it, it can create, let's actually see this again. It can create a color effect similar to opal. You can actually see the color change with the difference where I could turn it. So this one, I don't think I exactly see the effect they're referencing, but there's a name for it, and it's even kind of new to me. I need to find a specimen that goes with it, thank you, sir, because it is called the Tyndall-Rayleigh or Rayleigh effect, Tyndall-Rayleigh, the Tyndall-Rayleigh effect. And that is your new word for the day on Mr. Brad, since he got me before on another color effect in tourmaline that was unique. And so there you go. Let's look into that one. Okay, now I gotta get moving here. I gotta get moving. Too much to do. Okay. Oh yeah, let's look at item 119-9424. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Price on this one was only $77. $77. 119-9424. Thank you for asking and reminding me. I get too excited about the next item. All right, speaking of next item, take a look at this jewel. Take a look at this guy. Talk about a wonderful specimen. Look at that.
What's the number?
Yep, that number is 119-7424. Oh, wait. Sorry about that. That's the other one. This one is 119-9424. Wow, look at the colors in this. Now, because there's some crazing in this, this is best for a specimen. It could be cut. Probably I'd cut it for the backside, and you'd still wind up with a usable stone. It just may have some of the crazing in it. But because of that, it makes a beautiful and gorgeous specimen that, let's see if it does its magic and stands on its own. Yes, it does. You know what that means. That means it is a hit. That is a beauty. Look at that. All right. Do you have the info on that? Here it is for you if you want to just look at. Okay. Now, this being 17.84 carats, how would you like this for only, I'm making prices for everybody, $47. Only $47 on that jewel. And that is a price that for a specimen that you can't just get them anymore. They're from the 90s. They're not mining that material. It's all Wello material. And you don't see a good chocolate Macesso opal much anymore at all. Some of it used to be cabbed, and all you saw then, see now, is just really crazed cabs, which is a shame. All right, now, let's move down here. Item number 119-8324. Now, we were just talking about spectrolite from Finland. Well, let's take a look at Madagascan labradorite. Nothing too shabby here at all. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Boom, look at that. Look at that. Now that is gorgeous for any type of labradorite. Now, always wonder, see that at the bottom? You don't think there's anything there, but the cutter left it there, so let's see if there's a reason why. Maybe not, maybe so, and maybe it just takes the right angle. Oh, I see some color coming in there. Then certainly worth, look at that, so there's some more. So certainly worth keeping it there, with probably some other colors left still to be discovered. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like a forest fire when you move it like that. It looks like, yeah. Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like as you slightly move it like that, which is scary for a lot of people out west that have been through those forest fires. I like this because it's an end cut. It's from the end of the piece. You can actually see still the crystal formation of the feldspar right there. And it's funny, kind of where the crystal formation stopped is where some of the color stopped. So I have no idea what that would mean, but it just seems to be the case. And let's flip this upside down one more time and tilt it to some there we go. So there's some additional color in there without a doubt. Now, but I think you can see some of the intensity and color difference between this and the finished spectralite material. So, yeah, there's a huge difference. So, of course, that's going to mean a difference in price. And what does that get you? It gets me a better stand. Look at that guy. Okay, so how about this? 28 bucks. Yep, $28. Certainly worthy of it, and I'll drill that one as well if anyone wants. Now, my goodness. Item 119-8824. 119-8824. I'm getting ready to show you something you have not seen before.
Yeah.
And hold on a second here. Okay. I hadn't either. I have a amazing opportunity. Look at these. I have 6 of them. I have 6. And this is beautiful, beautiful beads of nephrite. They have base metal, I think, on the inside. At least they're not marked, so I just put base metal. Look at that, drilled out. And you can slide these on anything. Look at the quality of the jade used. I mean, that is almost like a dark apple green. I have a total of 6. You can buy as many as you want, no limits to them, because I have these at a bargain price. So each one is going to be only $11 each. Only $11 each, and they are all matched. So, I mean, 6 of them, to get 6 of them, that'd only be $66. That is a deal. Okay, let's keep going. So much, oh my goodness, so much to do. Oh, look at these. Okay, item number 119-6324. 119-6324. You cutters out there, or just you specimen lovers, I'm getting ready to show you, if you were tried to buy this material to facet in the any of those magazines that sell you faceting rough and whatnot, the price you would have to pay. Look at this. This is natural color spessartine garnet rough, and it is, for the most part, facet grade, and has some of those really expensive colors. Look at that. Look at that. That is the mandarin orange. Yeah, this is spessartine garnet, the mandarin garnet. Look at that one. Look at how large that crystal is. Look at how well it would cut. With that being the table, that would be an amazing emerald cut. Latif, he facets. He would know. I need to get him back to faceting. Look at that stone. That is amazing. Don't have time to go through all these, but I tell you what a trillion that would cut. If one of these would cut a gem, it would pay for the entire parcel. Look at the really red ones too. But remember, this is spessartine. So a good red spessartine is wonderful. A mandarin spessartine, very desirable. These all have, and remember, garnets often are known to have inclusions, so that's to be expected. But when I was looking at these, I didn't polish the face onto any of these, but I wanted to. I felt certain that they're quite clean. You can see that from looking at them. All right, that parcel, you're not going to believe this, only, wow, 10 stones, 44 carats, $48. Only $48. Let's look at item 1196224. 1196224. It is another parcel, so just letting you know, I have 2 parcels of these. Okay, that is the $48 one, and this parcel, let's take these out. There is, oh, hang on, did I give you the right item number on that? 1198324. Oh, wait, hold on. Shawn's all mixed up. That's the chocolate opener. Do you have the, oh, hold on, here we go. Silly me. 1196224. Yeah, 1196224. I already had it up here. Okay, so here's the other parcel, and look at that, another large stone, 45 carats in this one. Wow, that's a big one. And look at the clarity. I mean, I know you can't see past the surface, but you have to be able to, as a cutter and a buyer of rough, be able to, quote, look past that surface. You can't always polish a window into it to see, but that's all you have to do to be able to really check them out. So let me just go down the row and show you. Look at the colors and clarities to these. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how red that, and the difference in color. Beautiful cherry red spessartine. All of these will facet a stone. And another beautiful opportunity, and for 45 carats, I have these, only $38, only $38. So $48 and $38, I don't see much difference. I don't know why I made them any different, but that's the stupid stuff that I do. So, yeah, grab it while you can, that's for certain. And let me check this to make sure I'll have everything mixed up by the end of the day without a doubt. All right, gotta keep going here though. Oh yeah, look at this next one, 1196124. Oh, this is a beauty. This is a real unique gem. Check this out. Look at that. Pyrite in quartz. Pyrite in quartz. Now, you may remember years ago me having some of these. I'm not going to take it out. It'll, well, maybe real quick here. All right, look at this. These are really collectible, and it's faceted all the way around. And when you get those big, platey, leaf-like pieces of pyrite, that's what you want. You want those nice, large ones. They really stand out. So it's quite a rare collector gem. You see some in the market, but you don't see any that are that showy and that beautiful, actually. So price on this gem that stone, it's only $38. Only $38. And we got that. Amazing opportunity. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let's get to these. Item number 119-6724. 119-6724. I was very fortunate. Of course, you know, part of my garnet collection, these are some I had to have. And I sold off a lot of them, but managed to have a couple left. You're going to love them. Check this out. The Tongbai Wushan Spessartine mine. Look at that. Double-sided. Look at those spessartine garnets. So see how I segued in from those spessartine, the Pakistani spessartines, to some of the most desirable spessartine garnet in the world are the ones that are coming out of this mine. Look at that double-sided piece back in even the caverns of it, back in there. This is a remarkable specimen. Remarkable. And breathtaking. Breathtaking. So while you ogle at that for a moment, look how aesthetic it is too. It's just really attractive. I have this priced so far below market that, yeah, these go for big money. I'm just going to tell you that. But not at the prices I'm offering them for. This is only $158. $158. You should get just the one side for that, let alone double-sided. $158. Stand doesn't come with it. Let me show you next. Item number 119-6624. Spessartine garnet is, to me, one of the most beautiful garnets. There's no imitations. There's no synthetics. Look at this. Here is what everybody wants the look of. Yeah, look at that. Check that out, Johan. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that amazing? Those are pieces of candy on the side of a smoky quartz crystal. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Facet grade. This is what is so showy. This is what you see on the cover of magazines. Look at that piece on the smoky quartz that it's well known for. Look at those crystals. That is a showpiece. And as we come away from it, you can see just how large that is. Look at that, and the terminations of the smoky quartz. Now, on the back side, it looks like there was other crystals growing within it, and that's how it had to be removed from them to some extent. It's not like it's been broken. It is just, you can see that it had to be detached, because you still have garnets that are growing right in and up to those areas. That is remarkable. Remarkable. And a piece that is world class for what that is. Stunning. Only $378. Only $378. It is about a third of what I saw anything else going for. Item number 119-7024. 119-7024. These are true rarities in the gem market, and items that are so desirable because of the look. Check this out. Check this out. It just gets better. Look at that. Look at the size of those spessartines. That just makes me lose my breath. Isn't that stunning, Johan? That is stunning. Look at the size. Look at my finger. Look at the size of these crystals. Look at the well-formed smoky quartz. Look at these beauties. Microcline feldspar and the very famous Wushan mine. Look at these. Look at the size of them. I mean, you could just pop one off and facet it, it feels like. They're certainly big enough. Look at them. And look at how well formed. Plus, here's a very important thing to collectors. You see these smokies and these crystals, they're not nicked and beat up, which often happens when you try to extricate them from the wall. Or they grow in such a thin, narrow vein that they'll grow and hit the top side of the vein they're growing in. Look at that from the side. Look at how that one's wrapped around that crystal. That reminds me, I have an internal crystal marked in here. I'd have been mad if I forgot. Okay, so you see how they're wrapped around there now, or grown right on the side, as we saw in that other one. But what is also neat, and this is why you get a specimen like this, I would expect no less than you to spend hours looking in it and inside it. Here's the one I was thinking of. Look at how perfect that crystal is. Not only are they growing on the outside, but if you look, they're on the inside. Yes, they are on the inside.
Oh.
And that's not the only crystal that has occurred on. Look at, there we go. They are internal, yeah, internal. Then look at how they grow. Oh, here, look at that one. Look at that one buried right in there. You see it? You see that down in there?
Yeah.
That is what gets me so excited when I see crystallization like that. Remember my magazine I got that had the centerfold every month, and it was inclusion of the month. And this is why I still get excited to this day. Look at that. There it is. There's another one inside the quartz crystal. How fun is that? How fun is that? So almost all of these bigger crystals, you can find one that is on the interior. There's probably other minerals on this for you to discover. Look at that. Leave it to you. Price on this one, it is a fantastic opportunity. This is museum quality material. I won't ever be able to go less than this price, but it is a excellent value. Look at that. It even self-displays. I had a feeling it would do that. You know, that's worth extra bucks to me. I love that. Price on it, only $548. Only $548. That is a remarkable opportunity. Okay, I'm not done. Item 119-8424. 119-8424. Since it is Labor Day, everybody, and since I missed the show the other week, I am making up for it. I am giving you more bang for your buck than I have ever done in a show. And the fun's not over yet. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, look at, isn't Mother Nature amazing? Look at the difference of colors. Look at those colors. That is a sphene. Look at this sphene crystal. Have you ever seen such a cooler, larger individual crystal? That is because it comes from our own collection and we kept it out of the other sphene specimens that we had. Look at that. So we have clinochlor. That's all this little green chlorite. So it's basically clinochlor is a type of chlorite. Then you have these large adularescence type of feldspar called adularia, and that's where adularescence gets its name. So if it didn't have this stuff, it would probably reflect looking somewhat like moonstone. Look at these large sphene crystals with some of the chlorite on it, and it is additional crystallization over here. That is a very showy sphene. Seldom are they ever that large. Price on this entire specimen, only $68. Only $68. Let's keep going. Item number 119-8524. 119-8524. Barbara, I hope you're enjoying your tea time and you have some extra tea because we have not stopped, and this is a lot of wonderful items. I have never featured these before. Look at this. Oh, this is one of the rarest crystals that you will ever see. I have only had one other of these, and I was thrilled when I saw I had one left. Now, the difference I call between rose quartz and pink quartz, you're going to see in a minute. Rose quartz is a bulky, massive type of quartz that you never see any crystal formation of, and it's almost always clear or cloudy to some extent. I gave, and also the mineralogical people tried to assign pink quartz as to the quartz that forms crystals. Now, I don't know how if it stuck or not, but this is a stunning pink. And let's see if we can show the pink more so than it is right now. Let me see if we can bring this up. There we go. Look at how pink this is. This is crystallized pink quartz and extremely rare. Here is what is also really cool. It has an old-timey label. So, first thing I look at is when's the last time anyone used a typewriter? So this has got to be prior to the 70s. That is a hand-typed label. Now, what does SA mean? That is the original designation for items that came from South America. So this is rose quartz. It's Brazilian rose, pink rose quartz. It's still world class because of its size. Any size doesn't matter. It is so rare to find quartz that is crystallized. Also, as I see right here, it looks like you can see the remnant of another crystal, where there is another crystal specimen there. Also, it appears to be like there is some feldspar here on the base. And what also they said is unusual, that pink quartz loves to wrap itself around an item like a wreath. And as I was looking at this, I said, wow, I think that is kind of true to this piece also. So this has a real unique type of base that I haven't figured it out because I didn't want to remove that sticker. But look at that. Super, super rare. If you want one of the rarest type formations there is for quartz, here it is. And at a price extremely affordable. A price I should never make it this low. It's only, Miss Gabby's gonna grab it up at this, or Miss Barbara, you should get this. Somebody in the family needs to. Only $118. It has the label and everything on the base. Look at the crystals on that base. That's a stunning opportunity for someone. Let me get these done real quick, please. 119-8724. 119-8724. I could look at that specimen all day long. It is that rare. You know what? I'm looking at this base now, and I'm a little concerned. It looks almost like rhodochrosite, almost like a calcite. Look at, I didn't study this piece enough, and I made a mistake in not doing so. There is more to this than I had an opportunity, because I wanted to get these things done to get them exported here to Gem Shopping. Let me show you item 119-8724. Here is an item that the color alone will take your breath away. Look at this. This is genuine color. And I say, look at the two colors together. Look at that hemimorphite. Hemimorphite, stunning. It is a, and it has the wet look. See this, how it looks wet? That is very desirable in hemimorphite, to have that wet look. Hemimorphite is a zinc silicate. Now, smithsonite. Smithsonite, you've heard of it. We've had it before. Oftentimes you'll see it as pink. That is the zinc carbonate. You know, the iron carbonate is siderite. The calcium carbonate is calcite, etc. Well, the zinc carbonate is smithsonite, but the zinc silicate is hemimorphite. Watch out for any coming from the Ajuela mine, which I showed you a picture of before, that are blue. They are stained blue. So you got to watch out for fakes in the market when it comes to hemimorphite. The blue hemimorphite is the real deal, and this one coming from the Shawn mine, neon blue, stunning, stunning color. Price on this one is very affordable. Look at this. Did I show you? Look at that. Look at all the colors. Look at the banding in it. I didn't even show you the rest of it. That is remarkably attractive, and that intense blue is what is the desirable color that you want it to be. Oh, it also comes with a label. So it starts its provenance right there. There's the label. I added just the information label to the back of it from so you have two ownership labels there. And I have on this one, you're not going to believe the price.
Sorry.
You're not going to believe the price. I hope every one of these items gets sold. That's why I'm pricing things the way I have. That piece is only, look at it. Look at that. $58. $58. It should be much, much more than that. Now, where is the one I really wanted? Let me show you item 119-9324. 119-9324. I've got just a few minutes left. Take a look at this. Look at this. Here we go. A fluorite with some spessartites on, look at that wonderful mica, and then look at the well-formed feldspar crystals. Look at those. With that fluorite. That is a wonderful specimen. Look at the formation of the fluorite. With the spessartite just tucked away right there like that. And if you wanted to add to your collection without breaking the bank, then this is certainly one that you'll want. I am offering that entire specimen for only $48. Only $48 on that. Wow. That has it all going on for that price. Now, let me see. I had a remarkable piece that, let's look at item 119-7124. Take a look at this, and it is, again, going to be real affordable, but it is mind-blowing. Look at this aquamarine crystal. I kid you not. Look at that.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. If you thought you saw the good stuff first, no. Look at that aqua. Look at the clarity to that piece. And it is stunning. Facet grade quality. 1 stone, 2 stones, 3 stones, if you wanted to cut it. But look at that. Look at how beautifully terminated that is. Look at the incredible shoral tourmaline, the trillion shape to it. It is stunning and natural color. If I heat treated this, I could drive off the green. I could drive off that green if I wanted, but I don't want to. I want that natural green. Let's pull this up to the back here, there, Johan, and just show them. Look at that wonderful green color tone and the clarity to it. That is, and the size. Look at that. And I love how attractive the combination of the shoral crystals go with that. Price on this, it would be a lot of money, but not right now. Is offering this at only $348. $348. That is a unbelievable bargain. This is real important, what I'm going to show you next. Item 119-7924. And we may have to end on this item, but I tell you what, I think I might have saved the best for the last in a way, because this is something that you only see on the cover of a magazine or something like that. I was so fortunate to have a crystal specimen, not only like this aqua, look at that, but like this.
That's good.
Look at this. Look at this. Bisbee, Arizona malachite spray. Look at those crystals. This is everything you could ever want in a rare. This isn't Congo. This is made in America. Let's go. Ah, you did already. Look at that. And then look at how big some of these are. Look at that one crystal there. Look at the clarity to it. I mean, if it was bigger, it'd be facet great. Look at this. Look at the acicular needles to the malachite. And then let's keep turning it. Double-sided beauty. Isn't that something? Is that not amazing? So we got Johan looking through the camera at this. Look at that. Latif, what do you think?
I've never seen it.
No. This, you won't see this. This is the cover of magazine stuff. And then look at these. See these individual ones? Look how big these other single crystals of malachite are. There is cuprite. So cuprite are these darker reddish brown areas. Then we have siderite. Siderite also is a brownish material. We also have goethite, and we have gossin, which is a, look at these crystals. I also didn't have room to put everything else on here. That appears to be quartz. Gossin is common iron and manganese oxide ore for the most part. Look at every little pocket. Look at the bottom of this. I mean, it looks, I don't know how it grew or formed. Every part of this has these really, look at the light reflecting off these sprays. Look at that crystal right there. Look at how big. That is a malachite crystal. A beautiful green. I have never seen such a beautiful, look at that way down in there. And then there's botryoidal grayish material here. And look at right there. It looks like it's covering up something else. Let me have one more minute. Let me take this and look at it 1 second. It is, once this goes, I'll never get to see it again. And this is one of my top specimens I've ever had. It is one of those that you see on the cover. Look at that, of a magazine, and never get to own it yourself.
And it's wild.
Isn't that crazy? Let's see, where was I looking? Oh, right down in there. This is where you can literally spend a days looking at this. I didn't want to mess with the crystals and do that. And so look at this one standing up. That's a crystal of some kind, but look at the very top. The very top of it has another formation on it. And then one more second here. I'm just so excited about this piece. Look at how big those individual malachite crystals are. There's nothing else like this I've ever seen when it comes to malachite, or an acicular type of material.
Right.
Boom. Okay, so let me tell you, it's only $348. Only $348 on that, and it is a specimen that would be, I can't tell you how, it'd be beyond expensive. Hold on. It is item 119-9124. 119-9124. I want to make sure I get in something for everybody. And this next item, it is really cool. It has got a great cool factor going on. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful aquamarine in quartz. Just a classic, look at that, another little crystal there. Classic aqua in quartz. Great for a March birthstone gift. And I have a price on that one of only $44. $44. And the last item of the show, as if there hasn't been enough, 119.80. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, 119.81.24. My goodness, 119.81.24. And here we have a jewel. Let's see what. Oh boy, look at this. Here is pink sapphire, purplish pink Tanzanian sapphire. You can see the 6 sides there. This is natural. It is untreated. You know, who knows? I haven't even had a chance to look at it closely. There could be anhydrous in it. I'm not sure. I do want to try one thing while I'm holding it here. How does this work can we shoot through there? I just was curious. Can you focus? Let's see my fingernail. Yeah, the colors kind of doesn't come out. We'll try that another day. All right, price on that guy. I just have all my gadgets. Love to play with them and use them, as everyone knows. Here we go. Something for everybody. Price on this, $58. Only $58. And that's a lot of sapphire, a lot of rare look. And that price, that stone, that goes back at least a decade. I have more, but my time has run out on me. I will be right back with the trivia. I cannot thank Johan and Latif enough for their assistance in this show. Latif had to enter all those items that you saw. That was a lot of work and time. I had to get the work in early to him yesterday, and without Johan filling in for camera, we would be short-handed again. I hope Johan's here to stay. So great work there, and I really appreciate all your hard work indeed. All right, that's the last item of the show. We'll be back with the trivia. Wow, was that not a show, or was that not a show? And I just said to Latif that I forgot a couple pieces. I thought I had gotten to every one of the new items I had inventoried, but the camera doesn't show it now. Luckily, I know my pieces well enough to put them in the wrong bag, obviously, but to be able to fix it. And if I don't, then the Christie keeper in inventory, she is a genius, because without even knowing what some of these unusual specimens are, she'll know when they're in the wrong, something's wrong about it. So she's a great backup to my getting overwhelmed. So I tell you what, I have never been so excited to show you as many pieces as I did in today's show in a while. I'm always excited to show the items, but I guess in a way to show them off. Many of them I don't remember ever having, like the danburite, the wolfenite on mimetite, the malachite spray. When I saw that piece, it literally, I felt my breath being taken away. I felt almost like, faint. I couldn't wait. So I put it back in this little spot, and I couldn't wait to take it to where I examined everything underneath a bright light, the right conditions. And I looked, and I spent so much time on that piece, because I knew if it sells, which it should, that I would never have the chance to own something like that again, because what it would cost me, I wouldn't pay. It's a piece, especially on both sides, that, again, could have graced the cover of Rock and Gem or Lapidary Journal or been in a museum. And there was piece after piece like that today. So it was exciting. I was looking forward to the show, and I'm still sitting here. So, I mean, kind of aghast, because next to this incredible spessartine garnet piece is the uvarovite piece, which is a super rare. And then with the really rare additional mineralization of those other crystals, overwhelming for someone like me to even be able to have those items. Now, you can see they go back a number of years. And so if I had them for 15, 20 years, then wherever they came from prior to that was probably another 10, 15, 20 years. So it felt like there was a lot of specimens I was showing that originated probably in the 70s for the most part. And sometimes collections like that I get are like that. You know, someone will collect for a certain time period, and then, you know, it becomes an estate item. The family, they pass away, and the family offs them to me, and so there'll be kind of a timestamp on it. Other items I knew about, like the spessartine garnet pieces. I remember having paid a lot of money for a couple flats of them, and a large number of years ago. I was kind of overwhelmed at the time because I work with a well-known dealer that goes, well, he's retired. He's able to go to the shows with his wife and, you know, negotiate. Great negotiator, and so he'd send me pictures, and it's connected to all the who's who in a lot of the mineral world. And so I remember when he got the deal on these, and I was like, how much were those? He got an amazing deal, is what I later realized. It's like, wow, okay, so I wish I had every one of them back.
Right.
I have not gone up any on the price since the last time I sold one of these was probably 7 years ago, maybe, you know, about the time maybe I started the podcast. And I did some looking out of curiosity at what was available in these pieces and the pricing, and wow, I got a sticker shock as to not only those, but other minerals. Funny thing is, though, it did not make me want to go up on my pricing at all. Nope. It is what it is. You guys have been great supporters, and I'm going to keep selling this stuff for whatever I feel like, you know, would be the market. But my mind is stuck in years past. So they're great value, and it doesn't do me any good to have to show them to you 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The better stuff, there is another market for them that I can use, but I would prefer, especially since, you know, like garnet pieces, you know, my birthstone, that you as the mineral family get these pieces. Obviously the uvarovite and the garnet items, yes, that's definitely with me. The wolfenite, I don't know, and I have another wolfenite specimen. I just couldn't determine everything that was on it. It's beautiful crystals. It's definitely a Mexican wolfenite piece, so at least I think. And but I needed more research done on that. So it was overwhelming, and to have the Ethiopian opals even to show you that aqua crystal. Wow, that was stunning. And I didn't know that I had anything quite like that left. So excellent values, especially when you break it down into, you know, the way they're sold is really by the carat, a lot of those crystals, and or by the gram. And there is value out there in every piece I showed you. I'm looking at the rose quartz piece. And so anyway, take advantage. I did a special Labor Day built-in sale on items never shown before. I owe all of you that. I had missed the show, not anything to do with me, but just the way it happened. It's still, though I felt bad for all of you. So it being Labor Day, I thought, what better day than to show you as much as I could jam in. We even started the show early and show every item being an item never shown before, all super unique. No, there wasn't, well, I guess there wasn't an $11 item. There was those jade beads. So yeah, I covered all the items. That was another super bargain. Picture this. You get a couple or even 3 strands would probably fit and go through the jade bead and with the jade necklace. But one of those single jade necklaces with a jade bead, that could be pretty cool, huh? Yeah. 2 would probably go through it, maybe 3. So think out of the box, because there is a lot of neat items priced to that for $50 you could put together something nice, or for $50 there was a lot of really nice mineral specimens that were all 50, 60, only 50 or $60. That hemimorphite piece, the aqua in quartz piece. So value, value, value. Now, you can only watch the show once before you, well, you can watch as many times as you want. But after you read the trivia questions or hear the trivia questions, you can't go back and watch it before you answer the show. But before the trivia, which is coming up right now, you can go back and watch the show lots of times, and that way you'll get the trivia answers right. But right or wrong, it doesn't matter. I just appreciate participation. And I'm giving away good stuff, if you noticed. And I am going to continue to give away for prizes some pretty cool stuff. So, you know, participate. Everybody wins. It's a magical show, truly. So everybody wins, and those who participate often win multiple times in the course of a year. I mean, 3, 4 times, 5 times in the course of a year. So it's a way to get cool, free specimens by just having fun. All right, so let's get to 2 questions. Only 2, yep. Ready? If hemimorphite is a zinc silicate, then what mineral did I mention is the zinc carbonate? So if hemimorphite is the zinc silicate, what mineral is the carbonate of zinc or zinc carbonate? And I had mentioned it, and I've sold it before, and so yeah, you should know that. To most of the minerals, especially the ore, the metal minerals, there is a carbonate to it, and there's also a silicate to it. Let's take copper. Copper carbonate basically is malachite. The copper silicate, I should do that as a trivia question, see who gets it, but I won't this time, is dioptase. You could have said dioptase. And the manganese carbonate, rhodochrosite. The manganese silicate, rhodonite. And on. So, in this case, I'm looking for the carbonate of zinc, since I told you that hemimorphite is the silicate of zinc. Okay, second question. Name 3 locations that sapphire was shown from today. So there were 3 different sapphire specimens. Maybe there was more. I don't know. After today's show, my head's like, whoa. But I'm only looking for 3 because I can think of 3 right off the top of my head. So name 3 locations shown that sapphire was from. And that's it. That's all you have to do to win the prize or get in your name in the hat to win the prize. Good luck. I hope all of you continue to enjoy your holiday. And I hope you watch this show a couple of times. And it's worth breaking the piggy bank for. There is pieces, just because I wanted to get to everything, that I probably didn't give all the details to, but I think most of the ones. But some of the ones I might have missed would be, like Matt's interest, like the fluorescence of that spinel crystal. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's really beautifully fluorescent. The big ruby, big sapphire crystal, fluorescent, not the blue one, the other one. So there is I don't know if so. Miss Cindy, let me know what your favorite item of the show was, and let's see who else does that. Miss Elisa, I think, does that sometimes too. Let me know what your favorite item of the show was. I'm just kind of curious, because for me, it would be really difficult from today's show to pick a favorite. There's just really a lot of great items, but there's more to come. But do not save your money out because you may not like the next round of items. This was an impressive batch. Going to be tough to beat, but I already know some specimens that I didn't have time to get entered that I can't wait to show you that were still part of this estate and this collection. For me, if I was to say my favorites from the show today would probably be this amazing malachite spray. And maybe the other one, this super rare pink quartz crystal cluster. So, all right. I'll let all of you go. Continue to enjoy your holiday. Eat something good for me. I won't be home till late. And I can't thank you enough for your participation. And also, I haven't been doing this because I forgot. Like and subscribe, please. That's always a bonus. And please feel free to leave your comments. I do check some of the comments that are underneath the show. And I know someone named Rachel mentioned that they like to hear my family stories. So, like when I told one about my dad the other day. So I sometimes can't help myself. They just get thrown in there because I have a lot of family stories from a big family. But everyone would really love some of my mining stories. I just don't get a chance to always share or tell. But they are swimming right in my head all the time. And they are real. And I survived them. Okay. So I better go so I can let Latif back to what he's supposed to be doing, and me back to what I'm supposed to be doing, and you back to enjoying your holiday and your family and good food. God bless you all. Thank you all so much again for your brotherly love and spiritual love, and I feel it. I truly do. And very blessed to have all of you as part of this show. Let's keep it going. Cheers. See you next Monday.